Have you got your speech ready?
Mm-hmm.
What speech?
I mean, you're taking over a temple. You need to have a speech, right?
Temple of Pain, all he has to do.
Something along the lines of like Martin Luther King, like I have a dream and
I have a whip.
yes, I have a whip.
Guys, I'm sorry. I think I gotta restart my laptop real quick. I can't get
Say so.
Roll20 to load.
I have a dream, and I have a whip, and you know what comes next.
You have a nightmare.
I want everyone to look under their seats. And you get a whip! And you get a whip!
And while you're looking under the seats, you lash them.
And those of you with manacles under your seat, you know what to do.
Exactly. The doors are already locked. Don't go anywhere. So, we can begin if we like. I suppose we'll wait for Neo to get back in.
I should probably roll initiative.
You might as well get into it, yeah. The rest of us have. That'll change things.
Oh, did I just cut out?
Haven't heard you for a while.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, it's a 10-minute duration. I had cast it back in this corridor down here, leading up to the High Priestess's sort of main chamber. So if it's still obviously within that 10 minutes, it's still going. If not, then it's faded by now.
What spell's that?
It's telekinesis. It's a 10-minute
Oh yeah,
duration.
of course. Yeah. No, we haven't wasted that much time. It's you're probably on the tail end of the spell, but
Sure. Okay, cool.
It shouldn't expire by the end of the combat.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, but that is a good thought that you'll have to maintain concentration on that.
Yep.
I'd say it's because we didn't hang around we haven't really interrogated them much.
No,
we're bringing them with us.
So. Yeah, just killed them and raised them and got on with it.
Because I've just checked the time, and Revivify that Eldritch used is only a one action spell. If that was a spell that required minutes, it would probably be longer. But yeah, it's probably only been like 5 or 6 minutes.
Yes.
The Chimera goes last.
Almost.
Can we just kill it now?
Yeah. Like actually, you're right. It does go completely last. I wasn't sure. Yeah. Have we started the recording?
Oh yes, the recording is started.
Wonderful. Well, hello everyone out there in the future, and welcome to the past. Welcome to 1493 DR.
Welcome to the recording of this Chimera that's about to get bullied.
Indeed. I think we found the missing Chimera. There were 2 in Undermountain, but 3 beds. It would appear that we have found the 3rd. Keviak, this creature's fate is sealed. It just doesn't know it yet. Would you like to begin the pain?
It's addressed to you.
Oh yeah, I've got Keviak at the top for some noob reason. Addressed you.
Yeah, happily you'll begin the pain. If I'm not even going to use Hunter's Mark because that's just mean.
Mean.
Yeah. I assume all 3 of those hit.
That's a pretty fair assumption. You get advantage on the first round, don't you?
Yeah, I get advantage on a creature that hasn't acted yet in combat.
Hasn't acted. Perfect. I make I have a lot of assassins that have the same ability, but they never seem to go first. So I never. Anyway.
Alright, so there's 23 maths.
32?
That's the one.
34.
34. I'm the Dread Ambusher. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so this Chimera comes out and roars and growls and bleats and then yelps 3 times as it gets struck 3 times. They were such devastating wounds that already the Chimera is beginning to wonder if it's in more trouble than it really.
Lucius is like pulled his staff up, started to make the motions to cast a fireball, but then Adrastea is just doing 3 shots one after another. There's no point in me wasting a spell on this thing anymore, so I'm just going to cast fireball.
Okay. It's a minor blast, and with its red dragon blood, it shrugs off some of the pain that you've inflicted upon it. But unfortunately, the combo is far from over. Zevram, you are near the front, near Ariok, who is posing at the moment.
Right. I'm still loading in for some reason.
Roger.
Just taking forever. But
shall we come back to you, or?
Well, if I'm in range, then I'll
you are.
just go up and hit it twice.
Perfect. You rush forward. It puts you at the front of the pack. The Chimera has just come around the corner, but you were not far away from it in the first place.
Cool.
So yeah,
someone else will have to roll for me.
All right.
I mean, the creature goes at the very end of the round. You may as well just wait until you can get in.
Yeah. That sounds cool. We'll give you your rolls when you get in. Kiviak, you unfortunately are towards the rear.
He's disconnected at the moment.
Yeah, he's still
excellent. That works well because these flying boots probably wouldn't get him there. They might though. Payne Aldrich.
He'd be 1 short.
I'm going to up here and cast Toll the Dead.
Okie dokie. You have a wounded Chimera. A Chimera who knows that those bells toll for thee.
There's Zevram's hits.
Thank you very much. All right, so 13's not going to do it, is it? No, not even close. DC 17, wow. The Chimera is wounded and wounded again. 14 from the Toll the Dead, 28 and 9, 37. It's wounded, and this combination of blows is taking it by surprise as they rain down on this innocent, defenseless Chimera that is merely just like sitting at home. Someone opens the door. Ooh, I might go and see what the mailman's brought today. And this is what happens. I, for one, am disgusted. I'm resigning from Peter as a result. Ariok.
I wonder what's for dinner tonight. Oh, fuck, I am.
2 hits.
Bam.
And I guess I'll burn a key point for 2 more.
All right, let me just check on that 15. Yeah, that's they both hit.
And he has to do a let's see, open hand technique.
Yeah.
Dexterity save to see if he's.
How ever does one knock a 4-legged creature with 3 heads. So what's the technique that you must employ?
Oh, you pick one head on the side and
Oh yeah,
you bang each head into each other.
it's like Newtonian
balls.
physics. Yeah, that's it.
I do believe we've covered this already.
Yeah. Ding, 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 ding. That poor beast. That poor beast. 17, 27, 35. The Chimera is shaking all 3 of its heads, trying to snap out of this this stunning maneuver. But Sanj may have its number.
Finish it off.
I kind of step up just past the average here.
Was
And,
it not prone? Is that what happened?
I think
Yes.
so.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, sorry to interrupt you.
so it's prone. In that case,
Yeah.
I am going to I flick a finger at just a loose stone or pebble around here,
Oh yeah.
and I lift it up and then just catapult it straight at the Chimera. I'm going to use a 3rd level spell slot.
All the kinetic energy you can muster.
Absolutely. So it's a DC dexterity. It's DC 18 dex save. Or it's 5d8 damage.
A 3 will not do it. That's what it is. It's a railgun. Boom.
16 damage.
All right. And the Chimera is heavily wounded after this, but not so wounded that it gives up already. And in fact, it chooses instead to maul and to bite and to headbutt those who've dared come too close to it. So it attacks and bites and breathes fire as well. A cone won't hit both of them though, will it? Unless it moves away. It doesn't want to move away. So the headbutt comes towards Ariok. The goat insists on butting horns with the tabaxi, but it was really just a feint. It had no real intention of hitting. What its main attacks were going onto the half drow. The lion slashes with its claws, and then it breathes fire all over Zebram. Pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. 21 doesn't hit, so I think I'm fine.
All
I
right.
still
Well,
take half damage. Yeah.
considering that this is like such a massive attack where the claws smash against the wall and stones fall from the roof and fire is blasting, superheated dragon fire, how do you emerge from this almost unscathed?
I guess in an effort to sort of like, I still take a bit of the fire damage, but I avoid its melee attacks, and then I sort of take the moment to shove my shield into the dragon's face and get it to veer off towards itself.
Perfect.
Other heads.
Perfect. And blast fire all over itself, and the lion roars at the dragon as it gets so badly scalded. And its life will not last much longer.
I wouldn't assume so.
They are incredible rolls. Like, you just don't get under 22 very often, you know?
Oh no, I have a huge accuracy bonus. Like, I have plus 12 to my rolls. That's why they're so crazy.
That is nuts. Plus 12, wow. Yeah.
I very rarely miss.
Alright, so that's 2 hits, 20 damage. The Chimera is writhing in agony and roaring and bleating and spluttering and coughing and dying. But it says it sort of scrambles to stay steady in pools of its own blood, slipping on the now wet surface. Lucius, you have the opportunity to end it. A clear line of sight, at least.
Lucius has lost interest at this point, and he's kind of wandering over to have a look what's down these corridors.
Make a perception check. You see cages or fences, gates, prison gates. You're looking up towards at the very edge of your vision. You can see through bars, so you're looking into a cell, and within that cell, you can hear the sounds of people hushing, people talking, and you can see their faces, their dirty, filthy faces, as they crawl towards the bars, daring, some of them at least, daring to try to peek out and see what cacophony is going on out here. Some of them are goblins and kobolds, but most of them seem human or some derivative of humans.
Yeah, Lucius will start heading in that direction. That's it all for me.
After your beautiful dance, your blade dance, Zevram, you how does this battle end?
I'm gonna curse it as I swing down my sword using my Moonblade's quarry to curse it. I then swing my sword. 17 and 23.
They erupt, the flesh and the bone, and its end is as sudden as its appearance was.
As a bonus action, I asked the High Priestess, "Is this the best you got?"
Still recovering from her, well, I was going to say near-death experience, but her death experience. She is too rattled to come up with any witty retort in this situation.
I got it.
Very good, Zevram.
It's dead.
Impressive use of the shield there. That was very good.
Almost copped a face full of that.
Mm.
So, do these in here appear to be the slaves that they've been dealing in?
That's a fair assumption. Yeah, that's a fair assumption. They are unhealthy. They're sickly, withered, broken-spirited people. And people in the broader sense of the term. For a good third of them wouldn't have been welcome in Waterdeep 100 years ago. Goblins, kobolds, and the like. Some of them are dead. Some of them have starved to death, or are or died of thirst, or some other condition. Some of them are quite young, but it does appear that these are like stock pens, holding pens.
Are they just kind of held in here, or are they manacled, chained?
No, they're mostly just held here, but a few are manacled, a few are chained, and several of the skeletons are chained. It would appear that that the priestesses of Leviatar have left visual reminders for those who might be rebellious of what fate will occur should they.
I'll head back out to where everyone else is, and once we've got what we needed here, we need to set all these people free.
I say we leave her locked up in here once we let them go.
I had no idea the Leviatarans had such a large-scale operation. I knew they engaged in slavery, but this many seems like they don't even have the facilities to house enough of them.
You notice that several of them, the goblins, kobolds, bugbears, a couple of the humans as well. Several of these people have gang markings, tattoos, predominantly the Xanathar's Guild. No signs of any Xantara members, but there's a strong criminal element to these slaves. Many of them are ne'er-do-wells who are as likely to end up in prison as they are in slavery in the first place. In fact, that's where several of them came from.
Yeah, but that's
Ironic.
not.
Wait.
That's
You
not
saying that,
all of them, though, is it?
wait, are you saying they came from prison? That means
Some of
the
them.
guards of Waterdeep are trading in slaves?
Because I'm assuming that you will at some stage at least interrogate the prisoners, or at very least listen to their pleas and their woeful tales. I'm innocent. I'm innocent. He's not. That's those sort of stories and accusations. And your suspicions would seem to be accurate, at least from their accounts. Um, they say, yeah, they were arrested for some minor insignificant crime, stealing a wheel of cheese for their starving sister, and they were thrown down here. They were thrown into the prisons of Waterdeep, and then taken below, and that was It seems to be and the stories are so common, and it doesn't look like according to their own testimony, they're not the first people it's ever happened to. So it seems to be a kind of systematic procedure. They're not the first, they won't be the last. They're just waiting for the merchant train to come back up and take them below. They don't know it quite like that, but they do know that they're only here for less than a month. Sooner or later, someone's going to come and collect them, and they'll all be taken on to the next destination, from the
Well, my point
streets
is,
to the prison to here to wherever it goes next.
so my point is the Waterdeep is in the slave trade, essentially.
No, I'm willing to bet this is the Castellanta influence. He's probably used his money to get a number of guards on board, and then he's selling these slaves.
Well, we got a room back here if you guys want to come in.
Yeah, there does seem to be a room back there.
Back where?
And you're right. There's probably some
At the back
corrupt
of the
Castellanta influence here.
at the back of the cell, there's another room.
Oh yes, at the back of the cells.
Where's his treasury from here, Aldrich?
Aldrich knows that the treasury is stored up basically where you guys are now. He's not admitted to the treasury, but he knows that it's kept beyond the slaves.
Do all the walls look the same here?
Make an investigation roll.
Well, the one at the top seems to be no wall.
Okay, can I ask Lucius, do all the walls look the same here?
I will have a proper look around. I will also snapcast detect magic again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, make an investigation roll. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, there is a brick that you pull, and when you pull the brick, it opens up a secret chamber, like a sliding door. That door reveals perhaps less treasure than you might have imagined for an operation like this. It's silver and copper. There's lots of it, hundreds, maybe more than hundreds. But nary a gold piece.
The temple belongs to Aldrich now anyway. There's no point taking all of this, but a scroll case. Is there anything of the sort around?
Let's have a look. There's a handful of gold pieces that you can see, but no, you don't see. From where you're standing, at least, you don't see any. Yeah.
I'm gonna come into the room and use the first charge of the Wand of Secrets.
Well, okay. There is a secret door above your head. Most of the roof. Most of the roof is a single massive trapdoor.
As in,
There's
it's wooden.
Yeah, it's wooden, painted to be looked like stone, and the whole thing opens up the way a door does. Basically, it's like a hinged door, but the door is what 20 feet wide and 40 feet long.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an obvious like handle or a button, something of the sort to open it up?
Does the Wand of Secret Doors reveal the way to open it?
let's see. I'm just looking it up now. I know it reveals traps and secret doors, but I don't know if it reveals how.
Then it would reveal a pressure plate that is currently, I guess, activated, triggered, due to, as in that most of the floor is a pressure plate, most of the roof is a trapdoor. Okay, so the pressure plate is currently pressed. Is currently pressed. There is, X amount of pounds of weight on it, several coins, and they are keeping it pressed. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So there is technically it's a trap because it's like a springboard, but that springboard is loaded right now. It's clicked.
Hmm. All right. Well, there's
So
more to this than meets the eye.
this probably isn't the real treasury. It's a trap set up that if someone takes a treasure.
That's what I'm thinking too. We should move these coins out of here and try and get that roof lowered.
Well, we have the High Priestess. Let's just ask her.
Yeah, where's the actual treasury?
And where's the Saint? That's the more important thing.
And the Saint has been taken below. She is gone.
And the actual treasury?
She grits her teeth. You are very clever. It is as you say. When the weight is lifted off the coins, the true treasury shall be revealed from above.
Insight check. I don't believe her.
Yeah, I don't believe her at all.
Fuck this
I
bitch.
reckon that if that trapdoor opens, something's going to come down and kill everyone that's in that room.
I mean, I hear this and I just start taking the coins.
I mean, as Zevram heads towards the room, I'm going to clamp a hand on his shoulder and pull him back out of the room. No, Zevram. Wait a second.
But she just said.
And she has a poker face.
Is this a opening or is that just a wall?
Yeah, just a wall. Yeah. Good question though.
Do be careful. I don't trust this at all. I'll use my mage hand to kind of just like begin scooping coins like out as best I can. Because I don't want to enter the room, but I
All right. Well, you can roll for the coins. There are 5d1000 coppers, 5d100 silvers, 5d6 gold.
So 5d1000. Sure.
Yeah, but this is all Aldridge's, right?
Aldrich, they're stealing 2,494 of your copper coins. You could almost buy a scroll with that. Almost. You could buy a scroll with that one.
That's not right.
Right now, I am too distracted by the hungry, poor prisoners, and since I'm a compassionate man, I'm going to create food and water in the middle of them.
Oh wow,
and watch them all tear each other apart to get at it.
On the contrary, most of them don't go anywhere near it. Several of them want to, but they look like they look like a dog when you lay down a steak fresh in front of it, and it's confused.
Yeah, they're probably thinking the same thing I am right now. What's the catch?
I just say with a nice smile, and I say, "Eat."
That sounds like a
even
command.
creepier.
Yeah, most of them are not going to disobey a direct command, and so they do as they're told. As often as not, grabbing something and rushing away to the corner to gnaw on it.
And that's when they find out it tastes like 2-week-old meatloaf.
That's not
So-
mayonnaise sandwiches.
All right, I'm in. Where are we at?
So
To
we
the
killed
north of where you
the
are.
Chimera real quickly, and then we went up into a room that is full of slaves. It appears that most of the slaves are criminals that have been sold directly from prison. That's probably the Castellanta influence, selling prisoners into slavery. And we have found a room that is supposedly a treasure room, but it's mainly full of copper and silver. There's not much gold or any of the other valuables that we know are in the temple. And the room's entire floor is a trapdoor. The treasure is weighing, it's a pressure plate. The treasure is weighing the pressure plate down, and there is a trapdoor in the roof. And we think that if the treasure is all removed, it's going to trigger a trap and the roof will collapse or something. And this priestess is bullshitting us and won't tell us the location of the real treasure room.
It's yeah. I think if we, yeah, I mean, will moving all of these coins with the mage hand take like an exceptionally long time?
Yeah, it'll take a long time.
I imagine it would. Yeah, okay. Well, yeah.
Get
I mean,
her companion to move all the coins.
So watching people like mage hand coins is a very boring prospect. So
Yeah.
I'm going to sort of in my quest to do anything at all, I just take my sword and I just start tapping it along the walls, just looking for more of these.
Make an investigation roll with advantage. Should have let you finish, but yeah, I've got a bad habit of finishing people's sentences.
I'm going to go and use the. He's investigating. I was going to use the Wonder Secrets in this corridor here because it doesn't make sense for this to loop around into a room that there's already entrances directly from the previous room.
Yeah, right. What's its range?
30 feet. So let me just pick. Yeah, do that so I can cover this entire corridor from the center.
All right. You haven't found anything there.
All right.
Arctic, I'm going to cast Dimension Door.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give myself how high is the ceiling?
20 feet.
So let's go.
Wait, Sanj, before you do that, give me a spell book.
I don't think so. And I'm gonna go 30 feet up.
All right.
Oh no!
You
I got that
fall
feeling.
5 feet onto a pile of gold. A lot of gold, really. In fact, you might as well roll the gold and the pearls.
Okay.
Although there's no need to roll the scroll because there's only one of them, and it's black.
Oh.
Is the gauntlet there, or is that somewhere else?
The gauntlet is not there.
How does they get it up there to set the trap? That's what I want.
Magic?
Oh. I didn't.
I'm like standing just outside the doorway with my hand cupped over my ear, just waiting for like a mechanical blade or screaming or something.
Let's see.
Tell
I'll point my finger back down in the direction of my companions, and use the message spell, the cantrip.
Yeah.
1 foot. Oh, unless there's a foot of stone, an inch of common metal, or 3 feet of wood between us.
Only 1 foot of wood.
Okay, then I'll message Lucius and be like, a lot of gold, a lot of platinum, black pearls, and a black scroll. How do we get it down?
I'll message back up to him. Are there any levers or anything up there?
Taking a look around.
Yeah, I guess there must be some sort of device like that. Yeah, a lever.
It's like maybe like a kill switch in case someone gets stuck up here inadvertently or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. Or maybe like a winch, a mechanical turning wheel, something that activates the mechanism manually instead of automatically. Yeah, you'd be able to get down.
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to. I'm going to pocket the pearls before doing that, and then flick the switch.
Cool. You are back.
Grab the scroll.
It is
And
the
then-
black scroll.
The deafening
red-
clatter of thousands of gold pieces falling from the ceiling.
Yeah.
I
Red
imagine
on black. Like, did they not know the meaning of contrasting colors? Like, come on.
It's like it's for style. They're style over substance type people, you know.
I mean,
they wear leather in hot weather.
This
if
hurts
it's
my
like
eyes
if it's
so
like
bad.
if the ink is like blood that's been mixed with like maybe a brighter red ink on a black scroll, then it'd be read.
Is this just another copy of the first of the scroll that we had? Or do we never have the scroll in the first place?
We
No,
never
this is-
had the
yeah.
scroll. Aldrich
Okay.
knew about its presence.
Yeah. So I guess he transcribed it for you, but it was
Yeah.
this
Okay.
is the original.
This is the OG.
Yeah.
I pass that to Aldrich.
I might mention, since it won't occur to everyone, that one of the signatories to that scroll is already dead. Because
Yeah, we talked
killed
about
them.
this last session. We killed Istrid Storm when they ambushed us. Aldrich, would I be able to hold on to that scroll? That has uses for us. We'll leave all the gold and everything for you to handle for the temple. You'll need your expenses, but that scroll, we're gonna need it.
That's perfectly fine.
All right, thanks. And I'll keep that scroll on me. Second in value to my spell book.
Just a question, Arctic. The black pearls, is that the gold cost per pearl, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, black pearls are very expensive, yeah.
Oh shit! All right.
He's a cardinal of Asmodeus.
Yeah,
A cardinal.
a cardinal.
Cardinal's a
know
pretty
what to
high
say.
rank.
Yeah, it's one below a pope, so
Yeah, that's right. So, and it implies the presence of a pope as well.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna now turn to look at this priestess. One last question. Where's the gauntlet of Gornogrim?
When Saint Arene was sent below, we saw it poetic that she should be wearing it as a decoration.
Sent below to where?
Deeper into Undermountain. Deeper, past Skullport.
With who?
We have no allegiance to the Drow. I suppose that doesn't leave many options.
I smack her. Just tell us.
You sold her off, didn't you?
She smiles up at Ariok. Have you not been with a priest of Leviathan long enough to know that we will enjoy this?
Oh, then I kiss her and tell us.
But there are some things that we enjoy more than pain.
Oh, for the love of God.
Hard to torture a priest after the Leviathan.
Wait a minute.
Sure.
Can we tickle her? Tickle her.
Well, she doesn't have any value to us anymore. Aldrich, it's your temple now.
Yes, congratulations.
High
So-
Priest Eldridge.
So she's not going to tell us who she sold the saint to?
Make an insight check. She seems to be making it up as she goes along.
I am going to take my chain of command. I'm going to just wrap it around her companion's neck. And I'm going to look to the high priestess and say, are you sure you don't know where the saint is?
You sent me beyond and brought me back. And you expect me to still fear death?
Were you talking to
Not
the High
her.
Priestess?
I'm talking to her high priestess, but I have her. I don't know if it's her lover or companion.
Yeah,
In
it
the
was
chain?
the assassin that Aldrich killed and then brought back. The priestess hasn't died yet.
Right. What can you offer me that would be worth my help?
What I offer is you both can go to prison together, or just one of you.
Very well. I would have your word that you shall deliver us into the cells of Waterdeep. Your word on our beloved goddess, the one chain that we yet still share.
Yes, you have my word.
You were close, she says, looking at Zevram and at Lucius. You were close. And she leads you back into the corridor that you've already searched, if you allow her to lead you. Back up this arm. She stands where Lucius stood and takes 35 steps to the north.
Oh my god, it was one block out of range.
It was. I measured and I measured again.
Oh my god.
I was like, oh well, I don't know what to do here. We'll go with the rules. And sliding across a wooden panel painted to look like stone, you see a torture chamber of certain pedigree. Racks and instruments and gibbets. This is the heart of the oblette. There are so many different ways to inflict pain upon people in this room that it requires a certain creativity to even use the tools. And then at the rear of this dubiously shaped chamber, you can see a beautiful woman starving, still dressed in the chainmail, still dressed in the red robes, and still wearing the gauntlet of her order. A some knight of the Red Knight, a deity of strategy and military tactics.
Ah, so she is still here.
She's. If it's true, I've never laid eyes on a living saint. This is. Yeah.
Yeah, enough of that. Get the shackles off her. We need to get her and the others out of here.
She opens her eyes. Her lips parched, blistered.
I mage hand a water skin into the cell.
She drinks from it without changing her posture or her expression, save to close her eyes. I knew you would come. I had faith.
Did your faith say that a Leviatarian priest would save you?
My faith told me that justice would save me. The hand of authority would deliver justice.
And I'll just, if this is a cage, is it like a locked cage?
Yeah.
Check for traps. I don't want to see her killed right before we get her out.
Investigate for traps.
It's a simple, a complex padlock, but a padlock nonetheless. You pry it open with after a lot of time, and there is no such device. No such lethal contraption built into the mechanism. The woman remains there, calm, cross-legged, straight back, bloodied, malnourished.
I give her some rations, and then I cast Cure Wounds on her, and say, I know you despise this temple, but please note that you are a prisoner of false prophets of Leviatar, and do not hate the religion itself.
I could never love a goddess who loves pain, who loves to hurt the innocent. But I can respect a deity that pleases her servants and that asks for loyalty and servitude.
And I hold my hand up to like pick her up to help her walk.
And she grabs you with the gauntlet of Gauntlgrim.
Oh my god, it's a monk weapon. I want it.
Wow, these are pretty cool.
Well, if this is a holy symbol for this dwarven god and the Red Knight, what the fuck is the Temple of Helm trying to get it? Greedy bastards.
Maybe they have other pieces of the regalia.
You can make a history check if you like. There's a reason. It was said that the gauntlet of Gauntlgrim was a key. Now, Gauntlgrim was lost for a long time. I'm pretty sure it's been reclaimed now by Bruenor Battlehammer and some others. But the legends that you've heard, listening to the tale of the beardless king, that massive dirge. Within the dirge of the beardless king, the gauntlet of Gauntlgrim is the key that seals the gates of Gauntlgrim. And Gauntlgrim was a capital city deep beneath the earth, the capital city of I think Amarindar. Its front gate was made of adamantine, like a gate 100 feet wide of pure adamantine, and this is meant to have been the key that locked it.
Ooh. I kind of start to kind of subtly look at Keviak like, how's the dwarf going to react to this?
This is, I should just point out, Keviak, this is a piece of your cultural heritage. It's no less than the crown jewels of England. This is part of the regalia of the king of Delzoun. Delzoun is a lost kingdom, a lost empire. And when the king was fully dressed in his crown gear, he would have worn these gauntlets.
Obviously, as a dwarf, it's my duty to take possession of this cultural artifact, and he starts reaching out for it.
She removes the gauntlet and gives it to you. There's only one of them, but she removes the gauntlet and gives it to you. It's the right fist.
He's just like, he puts it on, I guess.
Looks good on you, Keviak. I turn to the priestess, or not the priestess, sorry, the now freed saint. I'm just gonna ask her, like, is there anything else you need? Is there anything else that they took from you and have kept them hidden elsewhere in these chambers, corridors?
I want to see the blue of the sky.
I think we can have that arranged.
All right, let's get her and those slaves out of here now. Aldrich, what do you plan on doing with this priest? Actually, before we leave, you should probably make it known to the rest of the temple that you're in charge now. We don't want other people to try and take advantage of the situation and snatch it away from you.
Very well. Hopefully we won't be met with any opposition on the way out of here. I look to the slaves and I say, you are free.
They are kind of mostly suspicious, but also grateful. But they will have no way of escaping the oblet. It's a 40-foot sheer drop down into this dungeon.
Sorry, I think I can set something up.
Huh. How the fuck are we getting out?
Well, there's like torture devices and tables and stuff that should be made of timber. If we just lug a bit of the timber over there, I'll use fabricate to create some wooden steps up and out.
All right. Adrastia, could you roll a d4, please?
Oh. Okay.
Is this how many of the slaves pull out their crossbows and start shooting?
Maybe. All right. In among the goblins and half elves and dwarves and humans, There's a human guy who's watching you intently, Adrastia, and he's been looking at you this whole time. And at first you thought he was just impertinent, and then you thought he was, courting death by constantly staring. But now you're starting to wonder if you recognize him. Make a history check. Or insight.
I think I can see where this is going. I should have made an insight check.
Yeah, he says to you, Dark Lady? Dark Lady of Skullport, is that you?
You have the correct person, I would assume, but I'm afraid I don't recognize you.
Rustavar, 15 years ago, down in Skullport, you had a crew down there, right? Gareth and that old man.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. I did some work for you. I got some rubies for you one time from a jewelry store up above. You don't remember Rustavar? They're not rubies. They were 3 of them, I think. You paid a pretty penny.
Yeah, it's vaguely familiar, but I did a lot of things back then, and I've lived hundreds of years already.
Well, I'm looking for work. If I'm going to be getting out here, is there? Do you need any? Anything lifted? I specialize in top story work. I can climb. I'm silent as a cat. I can remove magic wards.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
How exactly can you do that?
It's a bit of a technique, all you got. Magic wards are nothing more than just marks normally, just runes carved into wood or written with chalk. It's usually just a trick of chipping around them and getting it out. It's delicate work, and if it goes wrong, well, you don't live to tell about it. But hey, I'm still talking, ain't I?
It's true, you are. Unfortunately, my group is disbanded, and I'm pursuing my own goals. I have no need for your services, sadly.
Sorry to bother you, Dark Lady.
No, it's fine. It's interesting to meet you again. What was your name again?
Rustavar.
Rustavar. Okay. If I should need your services breaking into a particular place or procuring a particular item, I'll keep that name in mind.
Alright. And so by now, Lucius has built his wooden staircase. The staircase out of hell.
Real quick, can you spell the name of these gauntlets I just got?
Yeah, I just shared it with you, so you can look for them yourself. I'll share it again, and you should be able to find them in player handouts. I think they're in player handouts. Yeah, there they are.
Okay, there we go. Got them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries at all.
I'm just imagining Ariok just looking at the gauntlet with like a greedy, jealous look and in her eyes the whole way back.
Oh no. If they're
Doesn't
dwarven
Devin want them to, though?
regalia, I'm not gonna. It's not my way. I mean,
You understand the value of art. How interesting. Yeah.
She'd have to also, snip off the tips of them
Ah,
so her
hey,
nails can go through.
that's true. It'd be like Michael Jackson gloves. They get to the knuckle and then your fingers stick out at the end. Yeah.
Doesn't Severn want them to fill the debt for the Helm Church from way back when?
Yes, but I'm not gonna deprive a dwarf of a dwarven heirloom.
Because a life debt is not as important as splitting up party treasure.
I'll find a different way to repay them.
We can make a counterfeit of the gloves. They'll never know. What's the chances they'll be in Gauntled?
Lucius's line of thought is that, these are meant to be the key to enter Gornelgrim, and Gornelgrim's probably full of all kinds of treasure. Why would we give it to some temple of Helm?
Yeah, there are people who have spent their careers searching for this artifact for that reason, not for the artifact itself, but for
Is there
its
some way
property.
we can like alter it so it doesn't look like the Gauntled gauntlet? Because everybody and their mother will want to be.
Only temporarily through illusion, yeah. Paint, keeping it in a glove. You could constantly wear like a rubber glove over it. But innately, no.
A
Just
hypochondriac dwarf.
Dye the fabric something different. Just paint the bronze a bit. All right, these. When we're on the way out, we'll be discussing, how exactly do we want to handle these prisoners, these slaves? Because if, on one hand, I don't really want to let them just go free into the city if they are hidden criminals, but on the other hand, if we were to fetch the watch and then have them collect these prisoners, that would let the Castellantes know that we're onto them.
How about
That could work for this temple if they wish.
who's that guy who's our contact for the LA? Why don't we like march them in front of him and explain and let him deal?
Because that would give the Castellantes a heads up. Because he would have to follow protocol and everything.
The Castellantes are going to find out either way. At some point, they're going to know that we're on their case.
All right. Before we leave the temple, Aldrich, do you want to find out which Zentarum she's been working with? Oh, actually, no. It's Istrid Horn, so that means it'd be the Zental Keep Zentarum and not Menshun. All right, let's group up and head out, just in case the Zentarum thugs have an ambush at the beginning of the temple ready for us.
So we are in agreement then that we're going to be contacting the law about these.
Yeah, if the Castellantes are going to find out anyway, maybe at the stairway, one of us can go ahead early and then fetch the watch and tell them we've caught a whole heap of escaped prisoners.
Well, not escaped prisoners, stolen prisoners.
But
is there a chance? I mean, well, there's not really a chance. If Castellante has his own lackeys working in the system, there's no way we're going to get this done without him finding out.
I think if we're going to do this, when we get above the surface, we should go directly to the Open Lord and tell her, we've got evidence that a masked lord is responsible for the slavery. Are you going to do something about this, or are we?
I like that idea. I think we march the slaves right to her.
Not the slaves. We go to her with the scroll.
So we can play that card now. It's a big move. It essentially kicks off the fact that obviously the Castellantes know that we're heavily involved in kind of undermining and uprooting them, right? It's another target on our heads now, solidified. It's going to get dangerous.
The minute they find out that we took over the temple, they'll know that we have the Black Scroll.
I'm just thinking, We go. We tell Laeral, one of your Masked Lords is responsible for the slavery, and then we duck back down into Undermountain and go deal with the Drow, and leave the problems of the city up to the Lords, considering they don't seem to trust us.
Do you think this is something that I could perhaps message Laeral about? I could send her.
I think she needs to see the scroll.
Fair enough.
She can also talk to the saint for information and interrogate the priestess and her companion.
Okay.
Or should we go to the Blackstaff, because we've got slightly better relations with her, and she's friends with the Open Lord, and she's also not going to be influenced by the Masked Lords. Let's take her to the Blackstaff, the saint and everything.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Does everyone want to come to the corridor before we leave on the way out, in case there's going to be a fight at the exit, so we're not all split up when Arctic's like, roll for initiative?
I'm kicking the high priestess on the ground and making her walk like a duck.
Aldrich, you're going to have to act a bit civilized so we don't get arrested when we enter the city, though. Have her walk normally and all that.
I have legal authority.
Just roll my eyes at that. So which ward is the staircase in the leather shop in?
Sea Ward, of course. How else would the rich people get to the Temple of Leviathan?
So it's not all the way across the city, but it's not too close to the Blackstaff Tower. Or actually,
I'll show
Ward's
you.
pretty close to the Blackstaff.
Probably a mile away.
Blackstaff Tower is in the Sea Ward.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on the southern border.
Okay, well, so is
Ward, I think.
Yeah, this is kind of on the border between wards as well. So yeah, probably is. The Leviathan and the Scourge Maidens, who are the underling priests, the specialty priestesses. They they flinch to see you approach. The eyes are watching you, bloodshot eyes, bleary eyes, children's eyes, and puppy dog eyes. There's smoke and filth, as you well know. There's a certain tension in here. It's kind of as if there's an elephant in the room. Last time you came through here, people were not partying, but engaging in. They were carousing. They were carousing. And right now, there's no whips cracking. There's no groaning. The kids are hushed, the dogs are quiet, and people are just all sort of looking at you.
And then Aldrich leads the high priestess out, walking like a dog.
Yeah. I stop, and then I put my foot on top of the high priestess' head and say, "This temple is being cleansed by the false prophets. The eye through which I see is the goddess' eye, the same eye which the goddess's eye sees me. My eye and the goddess's eye are one, seeing each other, one love, one whip, dealing the same pain. If you do not follow the tenets of this goddess and living through the false prophet, I'm giving you one chance to leave this temple, or I will take your lives." And I will just give like a stern look around to see if anyone does anything. And I'm like pushing my foot harder on the priestess' head as I'm saying this.
People look at each other, and then they all seem to begin scrambling at once, grabbing their drugs and their beers and running off, and then remembering their children, coming back, getting their children, and leaving with them as well. Yeah, there's a mad scramble, a mad dash, and people start disappearing.
So we just got rid of all the random junkies that won't actually follow us.
The prostitutes, the hangers-on, the dealers. Yeah.
Oh, I like the prostitutes.
Scared him away now, bud.
It's tough being high priest.
I'm gonna cut this fella down, give him a chance to escape.
All of a sudden, Kiviak's become disillusioned with this religion.
My saviour, this man says as he lumbers all over Zevram and hugs him and kisses him and licks him.
I think you've got a friend, Zevram.
Try to maybe give him a gold coin to, distract him.
Alrighty, well, he'll do anything for a gold coin, but that's another time.
What's a field boss?
What was that, sorry?
Oh, the Saints Row joke. What's a field boss?
So these Xantarum guys, are they still standing around, or?
Yeah, they are. They are actually. They've got their weapons. They've got like a shield and a kind of bludgeoning a blackjack, which is like a not as bad as a club, but almost. And so they're kind of standing, not ready for combat, but armed, and their shields are equipped. They're on duty, and they're not going anywhere. What about the Black Scroll? They ask. Aldrich.
We have the Black Scroll.
I mean, are we honoring it? Is it? Are we still in league?
I point to the saint that's following us. Does it look like we are still honoring it? You are honoring it through a false prophet, not through the goddess Leviathan.
The master will be angered. What shall I tell him?
I'm actually quite curious who their master is, Aldrich. I mean,
we only
who's in
need
charge
one.
of the Bay Knights in the city now? Istrid
There are
Horde
no
and the
Bay
Doom
Knights
Raiders are
in
dead.
this city. The Bay Knights have been put to the sword. Have you not heard? This city belongs to the true Xantarum now.
Oh,
to the Black Network.
Very sneaky. It seems Manchun's been busy over the last year. He actually managed to take over a business that was set up by the Doom Raiders. That is something.
With my legal authority, I place both of you under arrest. Put down your weapons.
They look at each other, and they look at you, and they look at the bound priestess and queen, and they throw down their weapons. Ever have I loved you, my queen?
Oh god, she was even nailing the Xantarum doorman. This priestess. You'd think she was a priestess of Soon, not Leviathan.
Hey, don't pick on Soon.
All right. So what's the deal here? Do we want to send someone up ahead to fetch the watch to take over these prisoners, or?
Are we going to the Blackstaff, or?
Yeah, we are, but we're not going to take all of the slaves with us.
Just the prisoners?
You could leave Kaisia and the polar bear to look after him until someone arrives.
Yeah, we'll do that temporarily, and then let's go up. And we're going to take. So, I mean, the Xantarum guys aren't important. But we'll bring the priestess and her assassin with us, and the saint, and let's head straight to the Blackstaff.
Very well. Sounds good.
I anticipate a fight on the way.
That depends on if these two guys have notified Manchun. If so, then yeah, there's going to be a fight on the way. You were saying something, Arctic?
I'm actually loading, and it's taking a while I load.
All right, so yeah, the Blackstaff Tower is on the border of the Sea Ward and the Castle Ward. So it's on like the southern edge of the Sea Ward.
Right. Leviathan. Yeah, so it's taking a while to load, but it shouldn't take much longer. I have to do a lot of preloading these days. Even this one map is taking forever.
Yeah. Well, with knowing that that Menshun is behind the slavery now, I think things are moving ahead. I definitely think we're going to be dealing with him after the draft.
Was there anything that we can use to tie him illegally to?
No, we
activity?
can't. Menshun is by far the smartest of all of our enemies.
He's a slippery fish for sure. But you know,
He's
it's a slim
oh
bug.
my god, he's a fucking genius though. Taking over a business that was signed by the Doom Raiders by Istrid Horn, taking over that without having his own name on the contract.
Absolutely.
Because I can't remember because it's been a while, but when we first told Laeral and the Blackstaff about Menshun, was their reason for not directly confronting him that they didn't have any legal evidence, or was it that they were scared of an open conflict with him, Arctic?
Say that again. I didn't catch the exact wording.
When we first told Laeral and Vadra, the Blackstaff, about Menshun being in the city, I can remember that they were like absolutely terrified of the fact, and then we were like, we asked them, are you going to do anything about this, and they pretty much said they couldn't. Was that because they were I mean, they gave us their reasons. I just can't remember what it was because that was like 8 or 9 months ago. Did they tell us that it was because they were afraid of a direct confrontation with him, the actual fight itself, or because they didn't have any evidence against him?
Not quite either. Although both of those are important. It was a third thing, and that was the fallout. Going for the throat is the nuclear option. Okay, first of all, we don't know what defenses he's got, so you've got to assume that any strike force that goes in is going to fail. That would be a sensible assumption. An archwizard in their arch palace, the archwizard's going to win 9 out of 10 times. So anyway, first of all, assuming that any strike force that you send in is going to fail, there's almost certain to be incredible repercussions. Attacking Menshun in Kolat Towers is the nuclear option, and if the preemptive strike doesn't work, then Waterdeep would burn. Like I think of what one meteor storm would do to this city, just one.
Okay, so yeah, well, actually, there was a meteor storm in the city about 10 years ago because of a drug-fueled rampage by a wizard in a temple. But anyway, but yeah, no, so is that a consideration of because of their positions?
I think you'd probably be speculating at this time. I can't imagine that they'd be revealing too much of their inner workings.
I guess, yeah. I'm just thinking, like, so they won't move. I'm just wondering to myself now, would they actively try and stop us if they thought we were going to launch an attack on Kolat Towers?
They would have to have the interests of Waterdeep at heart, and if they didn't, they'd be irresponsible leaders. One of the great fears for Laeral Silverhand is that she's going to become an autocrat, that she's going to become a benevolent dictator, and maybe that'd be good. Maybe Waterdeep would thrive under the benevolent dictatorship of Laeral Silverhand. But that's a Galadriel in the ring situation. Does Galadriel put the ring on or not? And if she does, how does that change her?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of my consideration, actually, why I said we should go to the Blackstaff with this proof that that Victoro is not only a cardinal of Asmodeus, but is partaking in the slave trade, because I'm concerned that Laeral won't handle the issue properly because he's a masked lord. Which is why I think we should tell the Blackstaff and see what she decides to do with it. I mean, she'll probably tell Laeral herself, but I don't really want to go directly to the open lord with this.
All right. To your disappointment, Manchun is not so omniscient that he sees this coming. Or at least, if he is, he allows you to progress through the streets unhindered. You aren't ambushed in the street by Zentarum thugs, nor even by purple wizards riding manticores. It's quite disappointing in the lack of drama that you experience as you get into a cab and pay them a tip and skirt along the beautiful, industrialized, magical city of Waterdeep. Here in the heart of it, in the seaward, in the loveliest part, gentlemen with their ladies, and ladies with their retainers, and single people with their beautiful elven cushy dogs. Designer item, pay 1,000 gold pieces for an elven cushy dog. God, and you make your way. I know, right? Like, we should get in the business of breeding elven cushy dogs. Like, it's an Amcathra specialty. You make your way, presumably, to where's the Tower of the Blackstaff? I thought it was further south than oh, there it is.
Yeah, in Seaward, Northward border.
Yeah, Castlewood, yeah. All right. So there you are, Blackstaff Tower. You haven't been here for a while. Some of you may never have been here at all. And so perhaps we will revisit a place that had become a mainstay of our accommodation during one stage in our career. Blackstaff Tower is tall. It is elegant, it is strong, and it is well designed. It has the operation of government at its base, and so when you are admitted in, they're a little bit surprised to see you. These guys haven't come in 12 months or more. But the bureaucrats, at least the mid-level and high-level ones, know who you are. The recent admissions certainly do not. But your importance means that you don't even have to sit down. You don't have to get an appointment. You're not waiting here like a couple of low-level adventuring bands and mid-level nobility and aspiring guildmaster wizards. You skip the line. You jump all of these people and find yourself winding up and up and up and up and up and up and up through a winding set of stairs, going past brass-plated doors, the technocrat of arcane design and chief investigator of divination and different wizardry arcane officers that belong to the various bureaucrats that serve beneath the Blackstaff. And finally, you reach the rich, dark mahogany door, the gold plate of the Blackstaff. And before you have a chance to knock, the door opens. The Blackstaff is already standing. It looks like you've interrupted her work. She does have sheets of paper, one letter that's been half written and quills put to the side. But it looks, in the time that it's taken you to get from the bottom floor to the top floor, she's had time to at least prepare for your arrival. And so the door swings open, and chairs swing themselves across the floor into comfortable positions, and a small coffee table with hot coffee and a range of biscuits and delicacies are arranged for you. Well, hello. I hadn't seen you for a while, and I hadn't expected to. To what do I owe the delight of not just one visitor, but, well, an entire warband?
So before responding, I'm going to glance around the room because I've got my third eye ability active until I long rest. Is the open lord in here invisible again, or is she
She's
not
not.
present this? All right.
Oh, you look around and there's the chair that you've spotted her before, and this place is empty. Invisibility does reveal a bunch of things, though. Reveals a familiar that is hanging around. A beautiful Tressime that is sitting up on one of the shelves, looking down at you. And a number of artifacts that are otherwise invisible. Several wards and lines and protections. So she's not without her defenses, invisible defenses, but no, there is no other humanoid present.
All right. Without saying anything, Lucius is going to kind of grimace and pull out the black scroll and just open it up and put it on the table in front of
She looks at you and looks at it and begins reading. Oh, wow. By Mistra. This is... Where did you get this?
from the treasury of the Temple of Penance in Undermountain.
She looks up at Aldrich. From you?
No, not from me. Not from me. And I yank the chain of the high priestess forward.
Hello? The Queen of Dambrath. Well, well, well. These people are attempting to start a war between Dambrath and Waterdeep, attempting to elicit and instigate opposition. But you're not the Queen of Dambrath. You're in exile. She doesn't respond.
I make a sick burn pout face.
The context of this whole situation, the Temple of Pain has been getting out of control in recent times. We decided to help Aldrich straighten things out of sorts. And while in the process of taking over, we discovered that the most concerning part is that third line, that third identity.
If this is real, they'll say it's a fake.
Which is why we brought it to you and not directly to the open. I understand the kind of situation that would cause, and we have no idea what to do with this.
I can keep it safe, but, well, I don't know that if I had 10 days to think of it, I'd know what to do with it. What? I can keep it safe, but what should we do?
I'll
We
kind of
can't
look around
act on
for
this, but we can't sit on it either.
It's my exact thoughts in the matter.
I think this sets things in motion. And it's going to be a slippery and bumpy ride from here on in. This is going
directly. It means a masked lord is selling prisoners of Waterdeep into slavery. That just the
And the Cardinal of Amadeus.
that part's not so much news, you could say.
A cardinal? They have cardinals?
Yeah, that's what I
Apparently.
said. I mean, that means they must have a pope.
Where?
We're not sure.
Oh, damn, another quest.
Anyway, we really have no idea what to do with this like I said, this is why we brought it to you. If we took this directly to the Open Lord, it'd put her in likely an even worse situation than what it leaves us with. We have other matters that are urgent for us to deal with as well. The drow in Skullport, for example, that are kidnapping people. But yeah, faced with the knowledge that one of the Master Lords of the city is, well, going directly against the very laws of the city by funding the slave trade with people from the prisons.
What more do we need to dismantle the power of this masked lord? We have evidence, I point to the Black Scroll. We have witnesses, I point to the priestess, I point to the saint. What else would we need to bring?
Well,
We
don't know who it is, right? It's one of the hidden lords.
No, he's got his name on there. Victoria
clearly states his
Catalanta.
name.
I introduced the Blackstaff to the living saint. That was kind of rude.
Oh, hello. Pleased to meet you. The living saint bows and curtsies very politely. It is a pleasure to be here. And neither of them talk much. The living saint's always, only speaks when spoken to. Basically, a woman of few words. Would you like a cup of tea?
I'd love one, please, if you don't mind.
The mage hand passes it over to you. Dishonor. He needs to be dishonored. You can't take away his cash. He'll always find more. You can't use the authorities to arrest him because he is the authority. Can't buy him. Can't be bribed. He can't be attacked openly. He needs to be dishonored. There's an event coming up soon, a celebration. The Castellanters do it every year. They invite people, poor people, all sorts of people into their home and feed them. A great show of providence and philanthropy. Perhaps if you were to expose him publicly at that moment in his own domain, well, that would be humiliating. I mean, if you really want to get the ball rolling, no. Already this sounds like a bad idea.
Can't possibly be a worse one than allowing him to continue to get away with, well, this.
Well, can I ask a question?
Sure.
We've got a lot on our plate. Can we shelve this? I mean, leave it as status quo for the moment?
Sure. We've got the evidence. I can keep this safe forever. But
I asked the party.
it's up to you.
I have to ask, you are better acquainted with the Open Lord than any of us. Would there be any point in at least speaking with her on this matter?
Sure. I can't keep this secret. I can't. If you want to tell her directly, well, that's gotta be better than us going through goblin whispers where she only gets half the story.
There is one other thing. It's the second name there, Istrid Storm. That was one of the Doom Raiders that's currently deceased after they tried to attack us in Undermountain.
Well, it looks like the alliance is already falling apart.
Except that Manchun took over from the Zental Keep Zentarum.
You're in league with Manchun? She asks Aldrich directly.
No, my religion has nothing to do with this. And I kind of just kick the high priestess. She is a false prophet that has brought shame to my religion, to disgrace the temple and its founder, which I wish and to find and restore back to its glory.
But wait a minute. If you want to restore your temple to glory, that's going to cost money. How are you going to get money if you don't have slaves? Where else is a group like you going to get cash from?
I'll have you know that the slave trade's actually not very stable financially or economically. There are much better ways to make money. I mean,
like Undermountain.
Yeah, I mean, we're still sitting on a large sum of money that the black staff was witness to.
All right, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. You're right. You have alternate resources, and I wish you well. I have no great love for your goddess, but I will fight earnestly to protect your right to worship whom you choose. So good luck.
Anyway, the point I was making is that with Manchun involved, we have our own issues with him at the moment. If we can avoid speaking to the Open Lord ourselves, that might be for the best. If we leave the scroll in your hands, can you at least make sure she sees the details of the scroll? I feel that's.
I can do that if that's what you want. Sure.
I feel that might be a bit better than us doing it ourselves. It's only a matter of time before Manchun and the Castellantis find out that Aldrich has taken control of the Temple of Pain. We've already put an end to their slavery that's been happening there. If we immediately run off to see the Open Lord, I feel like that might warn them or perhaps put plans of theirs in motion.
You're probably right. Well, this has been eventful.
Unfortunately. When did you say this gathering that the Castellantis was holding is on?
Soon. I'll send you the details.
All right, we'll try and come up with a plan. As for revealing him, I'm assuming you meant as a Cardinal of Asmodeus. If he were to be publicly ousted as such, would that affect his rank?
I don't know. Just consider it an idea. There are many ways that you might progress from here, and I'm not sure that I want to hear all of them.
Right.
So you're telling me that there's no procedure on you that the way the city is governed, but you can't govern your own lords. There's no law for if they break any of their own laws.
Rubbing our temples.
I think the point is that they're not meant to be influenced by other people and other factions because they're hidden, and so no one knows who they are. Unless someone does know who they are, in which case they can influence them.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that there's no checks on their power because of it. But that's a whole other question.
Layrill's gonna kill me for this, but I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Waterdeep has always been governed by assassination. Only a handful of years ago, Only last year, hidden lords were dying before your very eyes. The hidden lord system was founded after a purge of assassinations, which came after a purge of assassinations. What really holds this city together is the night.
Lucius is going to go deep into thought for a few seconds and, and kind of look away and just, I don't know what was being talked about. And then just kind of glances over to Zevram, then to Aldrich, then around the group, like, yeah, let's talk about this later.
Meanwhile, I'm seriously considering this. Like, I'm just giggling to myself. Like, yeah, assassination sounds good.
But then you have to ask yourself, and then you have to ask yourself, what is death without dishonor? Do you really want to make a martyr of your enemy?
That is indeed a good question to be asking, and I think that we've had enough conversation to provoke thought. We will be on our way to come up with a plan for this. If there are any new details that come to light, I think it might be best if we notify you so you can let the Open Lord know yourself if we go meeting with her at this point in time. As I said, I believe that's just going to set things in motion that can't be undone.
The black staff looks at the black staff in her hands. Seems to give it a scolding look. Well, it's in your hands now.
All right.
Right. We'll be off then. Love the new hair, by the way.
Oh, thanks. Sort of touches up her hair at the back.
All right, let's be gone.
It's one thing you can be sure is that a woman has had her hair cut.
It is not the same style as last year. Not in Waterdeep, no way.
Zevram's high charisma score coming into play.
As you look out, you see her looking into a Netherese crystalline skull at her own reflection.
All right, so we have some drow to deal with now, don't we?
Yeah, she said the exact same thing that I was thinking, and it's also the main reason I didn't go directly to the Open Lord. I was honestly weighing up with myself. The Open Lord's probably not going to be able to do anything. We may as well just kill the bastard ourselves.
I mean, in a way, aren't we just the assassins?
Yeah. All right.
So far, you've launched a religious a religious insurgency. So you're about 2 steps away from being ISIS, as far as I can tell.
The funny thing is, we're trying to do it for the good of the city.
I'd say it's more comparable to like the rebellions that happened in England while it was under the control of the Catholic Church.
Cool. Yeah, fair. Maybe fair.
Yeah, let's go kill some drow. And when we've killed some drow, we can work out what's going to happen next. I feel like we're going to have to be doing a bit of dirty work when we come back up to the surface next. We've got to deal with Manchun and now with the castle.
All right. So if you're going into Undermountain, how are you going to reach the Sargath level? You have multiple ways to get there now.
What I'm thinking is that we rest overnight in Trollskull, make our final preparations, and then probably go through the Xanathar's lair.
Yeah, and then from Xanathar's to Skullport, and then from Skullport into Undermountain.
Sounds reasonable.
Did anyone ever actually end up healing Keviak?
No. I don't think so.
You weren't unconscious, were you?
Nah, but I am down to half health.
Yeah. As I said, I suggest that we rest overnight in Trollskull Manor above the ground, get a long rest, and then we go down in the morning to deal with the drow.
It's good. I'll have I need to pop into the market for a few things as well, so I can do that while we're up here.
Sounds good.
Are there any like zealots or like war priests left from the House of Pain, or is it just all cleared out at this point?
It's up to you. The Scourge Maidens are willing to just serve straight, like just change masters. That's fine with them. They did the same for the Lethvargi. When these girls took over from the Lethvargi, they, served a new priestess, and it's just the way things work in your religion, as far as they're concerned, at least. So if you want to purge them, get rid of them all, you can. If you want to keep them, you can too. It's up to you. In any case, people still want to come down and keep paying for your prostitutes and pay to be whipped. There's still a commercial demand for your services, regardless.
Because I wanted to bring what I could to help us deal with the drow, like any kind of small force,
Yeah,
what I
sure.
could get from the temple.
Yeah, no worries. So you want to bring some Scourge Maidens? You can bring, 4 of them if you want or more. You could also get some Zentara mercenaries easily enough.
All right, something we do need to find out in Skullport. Them Durgar that are at the fort, are they loyal to the Temple of Pain or the Zentarum?
How do you find that out?
Yeah, no, I mean that's what we need to try and find out. Like we can get Aldrich to talk to that half ogre.
Yep. Like there's ways of finding it out. It wasn't it's ways of finding out. You just need to tell me how you're doing it. That's all.
Yeah. We'll get Aldrich to talk with the half ogre, and because he seemed to be a devout follower of Leviatar, and he can ask him, are the Durgar followers of Leviatar or are they Zentarum thugs? Because if they're Zentarum thugs, they're a really big threat to us. But if they're followers of Leviatar, they can help with dealing with it.
So you're all rested, right? You all have a good night's rest. Is that right?
Yeah. If possible, I was going to try and sell 9 of those pearls for their market value.
Oh, beautiful. Yep. You get the money
okay.
you get the money that you're looking for. Pearls are in demand.
Excellent.
All right. So what do you eat, everyone? Like you've just returned to the surface. Some of you have been down there for quite a while, I think. This is a nice night here in Trollskull. You're just indulging. You're relaxing before you head back down underground, get back to work. Here on this quiet night off, with all the money in the world, best cooks in the Sword Coast at your disposal, what do you dine upon?
I kind of feel like cooking up a few steaks from that red dragon that we've got ash
Red
preserving.
dragon steak. That's the food of heroes, if ever I've heard of it. The shit does not cook. If you try cooking red dragon steak, it is hard. That stuff needs to be cooked at a high temperature for a long time.
Elegant sashimi.
Sashimi. All right. What's involved in sashimi?
What's that? Sorry.
What's in sashimi?
So sashimi it's just very fine cuts of raw fish, and just raw fish, sea cucumbers, snails,
A bit of
frog legs,
kelp, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, just the whole smorgasbord of that finery. I'm going all out.
You get real wasabi, not none of this horseradish shit.
Oh, it's just a moment of absolute glee. on Sandra's face.
What's in an Armenian taco, Zebra?
Well, I just figured is like Spain, so tacos.
Yeah, so like chilies and
Yeah.
tomatoes and ground
Just the
beef.
regular tacos, but I try the hard shell first, and I just keep breaking it and losing half the inside, so I go to soft shell.
Yeah, good idea. The authentic cultural experience only goes so far when you keep breaking the freaking things. And besides, they're a little bit stale anyway.
You know what? We've got an epic battle with the Drow coming up in the next day, and Lucius wants to eat a meal of heroes, and he's not willing to give up that easily. So he's going to see if Embrick will let him borrow the forge to try and cook some red dragon steaks.
You forge sear your dragon steak, and that's the way to eat dragon steak. And it's so damn spicy that you burn your throat eating them.
Lucius comes back to the tavern with these steaks ready to eat, and he just forces himself to sit there and eat it. Like, yeah, that's right, I'm eating a fucking red dragon. Like, eyes are watering, like bloodshot, kind of vein bulging, but he's like, I'm eating the red dragon.
It's like the guy. It's like the guy who says he loves spicy food, but then can't handle a ghost pepper.
Dad. So, Ariok, you've got bread and water. Is that all? Some beans.
Split oats.
Split oats. No sugar, no honey, no milk.
Nope.
Do you want?
I mean, I ate all those cakes in Blackstaff's Tower.
That's a good point. You've yeah. So time for a bit of a health kick before you get back to work.
Would I be able to pick up a scroll of Conjure Elemental?
Absolutely.
This afternoon. Perfect.
Only with your contacts you can. It's not legal. You have to go through semi-legal channels,
That's fine.
Yeah. All right. You get it from someone connected to the Zentarum.
Okay, sure. Is that going to be at market value? There's a pinned message in our old server with scroll prices. Do you just want me to use that?
Yep, that's cool. That's
great.
Remains the same.
And I'll spend this evening copying it over too.
I might actually have a look and see if I want to grab a scroll as well.
And what's the cost? It's 50 gold per spell level, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's
copy.
And that's halved if it's of your.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Anyone
read the? Yep.
You were saying something?
Anyone read the newspaper in the morning?
Yeah, I probably would, to see if there's any update on what happened in the temple.
I mean, I wouldn't read the Waterdeep Wazoo. No one reads the Waterdeep Wazoo. It's like it's a tabloid newspaper, and I'm pretty sure that one of you might have written an expose for it at some stage. I mean, I can't quite remember. I mean, the paper's been around for a couple of years now. It's getting its feet. It's getting a bit of circulation. It's got some pretty interesting stories.
You know what this is? This is the Zentarum who's gone home at the end of the day and just started talking shit in an inn, and then the person from the Waterdeep Wazoo is like, yeah, that sounds interesting. I'll write about that.
I'm picturing the happenings to come in like this. Lucius goes out in the morning to grab a paper and some breakfast before going down into Undermountain. He returns with his wand out, holding a newspaper in one hand, staring daggers at Adrastea.
I'm just looking up like, what?
Oh my god, you have no idea what you've done.
I don't. Inform me what I've done.
Oh, your idea wanting to refound. Oh, Victorio Castellante is a fucking Mass Lord. He was in the room. He knows what. Oh my. I'll throw the newspaper on the table.
I run in through the door. with a croissant in my mouth, yelling, "What is this?"
It's so delicious, Zevram, your croissant. It's fluffy and it's crispy all at the same time.
But I need to ask my question, so I take it out of my mouth. What is this? I don't remember agreeing to this.
It's just bad publicity.
Is it true?
I'm just gonna open palm, slap Zevram across the face, like, you fucking idiot! No, of course it's not true.
Oh, I feel a little embarrassed, but I go to pick up my croissant.
I swear to God, I'm ready to go and burn this fucking newspaper to the ground. I'm starting to wonder if it's a newspaper or a mouthpiece for fucking Manchun. Every time he's got something to say to us, he uses this paper.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, whatever. Whatever. It's a newspaper. They can't arrest us for it.
Why don't we give them a story to tell?
That's actually not a bad idea, Aldrich.
We should fight fire with fire.
Zevram, you have a
You're not gonna hit me
very...
again, are you?
No. You have a very exaggerated way of putting things.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking that you can write an expose on Victoro Casalenta being the Cardinal of Asmodeus and the leader of the slave trade in Undermountain, and pass it around through all of the spreadsheets in Waterdeep.
Well, there's an idea, isn't there? Yes, I think I could do that. Yes. Give me some time and I can formulate something, I'm sure.
Very good. I'll ask out of character now. Is that something you want to do between sessions, or did you mean that
sure.
in character? Just give me some time.
No. I'll do that for sure.
Okay, we'll get back to this after we deal with the drow, and by next session, Sash is going to have some likely ridiculous story about the Castellantis, which is going to be brilliant. All right, whatever. Let's get ready to deal with the drow.
It's just a stupid article in some paper. It doesn't mean anything.
The article listed her as the daughter of the matron mother of the clan Ovrindar. Wow.
Yeah. Not happy about that. Like, she was reading the article and thinking, like, yeah, like, just with a smile on her face, and then reads that last part and just tears it off. really annoyed.
It exposes your agenda, though. It exposes how, like, you are part of the Drow deep state, and you've, overthrown the Xanathar's Guild. It's only a matter of time now before Waterdeep has a Drow hidden lord, if it doesn't already.
All right,
Sure
Zevram, make sure you include in this article about how Victoro is a masked lord. They want to
prove that.
You don't need to prove it. It's just a spreadsheet. They haven't bothered with putting any evidence in here, have they?
I guess not.
They want to speculate about whether there might be a drow masked lord. Let's give them a story telling them there's a Cardinal of Asmodeus masked lord.
All right. Yeah, I think I can come up with something.
All right, so you write an article, Zevram, and do you submit it to someone?
Yes, I have someone in mind, but I will get back to you on that one.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, I think what the plan is that we'll go and deal with the drow now, and Sash is probably going to write an actual article, and then we can deal with that whenever it's done, probably next week.
Yeah, cool.
Because I mean,
awesome.
I can't imagine us clearing the Sargath in the next 2 hours before we finish the game. So let's get started on that, and we'll discuss the politics in the following week.
So how do we get to the Sargath level? Do we go through Undermountain? Do we go through Skullport?
Skullport, I'd say. Probably the Xanathar's lair into Skullport.
All right. And was there anything you wish to do in Skullport before you went to the Sargath level? You're essentially emerging from, going into the staircase, into the Xanathar's Guild, into Skullport, then straight into the Sargath, or is there anything that you want to do in Skullport?
Maybe have Aldrich speak with that half ogre, find out if the Durga are loyal to the Temple of Leviathan.
Yeah, I'll talk to the half ogre, and I'll also ask him if he knows anything about the founder of the House of Pain. Whereabouts?
Yeah. All right. So we'll assume that you've gone through all that rigmarole. If anyone needs to get anything from Waterdeep, we can finish that now. Is there anything you want to do before we start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I'd absolutely love to go and buy like a dozen potions and a whole heap of spell scrolls and get all kitted up and everything, but I don't think we really have the time for that. I mean, in character time, by the way, either.
Yep, cool.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab like a handful of antiviral toxins.
Yeah, easy enough.
Antitoxin vials, rather.
Yeah, the Rundine Consortium will sort you out.
Antiviral toxins.
That's right.
Yeah.
Any vials come near you, shattered instantly. All right. So you head through Skullport, and that means, going into the sewers, going into finding the secret staircase within the castle ward, down into the Xanathar's lair. It's still unoccupied. There are a few things crawling around. You hear giant spiders, carrion crawlers, but you either blast or ignore them. And you then make your way into Skullport, where Quietus is still in attendance, apparently. The tiefling, the Quietude. And so she sees you coming. She's reading a book when you arrive. It's a book about the concept of man, whether he actually exists or is merely a figment of our collective social construct imagination. And she just sort of acknowledges you with a small nod, and watches you one by one. There's the look in her eye that she might be half expecting you to blast her as well, but she's making no aggressive or defensive moves, just giving you a kind of the judging look of a librarian. Everyone ignores her?
Fireball.
Bam.
I kid.
I just give her a wink as I walk by.
She raises her eyebrow to you, like a little bit of a raise. All right.
Yeah, I think we're gonna walk on by.
You travel through Skullport. Adrastia, roll a d20.
Watch us get ambushed by that bugbear's friends, and they're all like, "Revenge for Bob."
Revenge.
I assassinated him though. He didn't see it coming.
This is kind of interesting, actually.
Oh boy.
So you're walking. You've only sort of just walked out of the little Skullport. I think it was an inn. That's what it was. It was an inn down in Skullport. I'm not loading it because it takes freaking forever for me to load, and I won't be able to talk for 2 minutes. Anyway, so you've walked out of your inn, and you practically run into one of the Scourge Maidens, the same one that you initially beat when you first went in there. And so anyway, you see this Scourge Maiden. She's got an ogre with her and a kobold, both dressed in the livery of Leviathan, and they're leading a bunch of slaves or a bunch of humans on chain.
I go up to them and then say, stop.
She immediately stops.
Who gave you this order to do this?
They are old stock. They have been housed here in Skullport. We are clearing out the larders.
Clearing out what exactly?
Clearing out the holdings down here. These are the last of them. After this delivery is made, we will be out of the business, my lord.
We are no longer going to shame our name of the business that was previously being upheld by the false prophet of the old priestess. Release these slaves at once.
Yes, of course, my lord.
I'm curious, though, Aldrich, who's she delivering them to down here?
It's a good question.
Yes, who are you taking these slaves to?
I believe they are bound for Luskan, my lord. We are selling them to shippers, a captain from Luskan.
I'm gonna look to the group and say, should we investigate this or just release the slaves and move on?
I would probably just release them for now. We're here for other purposes. If this guy hangs around after getting the message the slaves have been freed, then we might need to deal with them. But it's best for us not to wear ourselves down before hitting House Overendar head on.
Okay, and as the slaves are being released, I look to all of them and say, and please do not hold hatred towards Leviatar. Hold hatred to the false prophet that put you in these chains.
I owe you my life, says the tallest of the men, a dark-skinned fellow with a thick beard but bald on top. I owe you my life, and one day I will repay this debt.
If you seek refuge, feel free to take it in the House of Pain.
I was born with magic in my blood. I am little more than a hedge wizard. But if I can serve you, then I shall.
Very well.
The mysterious man, and he leads the other slaves into Skullport, where he hopes that he'll be able to find a way home. All right. So you travel throughout Skullport and reach Skull Island. Once there, after not being fired upon by the countless numbers of Duergar with their flame cannons and ballistae, you find yourself with an audience, or at least Sundeath finds himself with an audience for you. He kneels before you, Aldrich, and when he stands, he keeps his eyes cast down, not looking at you, but he's still tall enough that he can meet everyone else's eye, and he does. He casts his gaze across the rest of you. averting only Adrastria's gaze, and of course Aldrich's.
Praise Leviathan.
Praise
And,
Leviathan, my lord.
I have a couple questions that you might be able to answer for me.
It would be my pleasure. He reaches into his pouch and pulls out a full pound of meat, which he tosses towards his wyvern, which is about 15 feet away. The wyvern snaps the meat out of the air and swallows it whole.
Tell me, who do the Durgar worship?
Lost, my lord.
Loth.
Queen
The
of spiders.
God.
Yes.
That is confusing.
Why would it be
Indeed.
confusing, my lord? She is their goddess.
The Durgar.
Oh, I thought you said the drow. I'm sorry. The Duergar, I don't know if they have any gods, my lord. They do not serve any god. Perhaps their own dwarven gods. I have never bothered to ask. Is it important?
Yes. So who are they loyal to down here then?
That is a good question, and I ask myself that daily, my lord. It seems they are loyal to none but themselves. The wealthiest among them, their nobility, are called stone dogs. One of them runs a forge, another one runs a tavern. And the Stone Darks are the leaders, but the Duergar are a curious people. They are happy to serve, as is their wont, but they also see themselves as independent individuals. It is a strange culture, my lord. These Stone Darks have some authority among them, but cannot order them around and are not their chiefs.
So it's their collective will that they're all here. They're not loyal to any person or persons in particular.
That seems to be the case, yes. They are each one independent, trying to find his own wealth, build his own fortune that he will take back into the dark when it has been made. They form easy alliances, however. Temporary, perhaps, but easy. They work with the Zentarum. They work with us. They have worked with the Xanathar's Guild in the past. They are
Perhaps-
flexible, but they hate the Dark Elves.
Well, sounds like we could almost use this to our advantage.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking.
And that's what I was thinking too, but I'm just not sure. I thought that perhaps by allying with the Duergar, skilled warriors trained in engineering, smart people, let me tell you. I thought they'd make good allies, and then when I look around, and he looks around, and all the fucking soldiers at Duergar, hey, there's a bunch of bugbears, there's a bunch of Zentarum, there's a bunch of pirates and other humans and goblins that are unaffiliated, but the people with the guns, with the flame cannons, with the ballista, with the heavy armor, hundreds of them, hey. The Duergar number half of every one of the people here. And when you consider that every one of those 100 Duergar on this island can each turn into the size of a hill giant with a ballista or a flame cannon, wearing chainmail or heavier. He's looking around and he's wondering that if he really is in charge of this place after all.
I'm gonna lower my voice a bit so only the party and Sundeath who are near can hear, and none of the Durgar will be able to. And I'm gonna speak. Maybe we can take advantage of their disdain of the Drow. We're planning on launching a full attack on House Olvrindar, wiping them out if possible. if
I
we can
like
get
that.
if we can get these Durgar on board, it'll make our task easier, and it may weaken their presence here on Skull Island if they lose a number of them.
I know you're clever, but you must. But you'd be pretty smart to think you're more clever than they are. Just keep that in mind.
True, they might think the same thing of us. Like, once they
Lucius
have the
is
drow out of the way, they can get rid of us and Sun Death and claim Skullport properly for themselves.
Lucius's look on his face is like, no, I'm definitely smarter than them.
You know, and I mean no offense, my lord. He nods towards Aldrich. My lady, towards Adrastia. But you're travelers. You wander from place to place, sleeping here and there. You don't have ties to the place. You don't have ties to Skullport. The Flaming Skulls, they don't know you. They don't recognize you. You gotta see that you want to dislodge the Dwerga, means you're dislodging them from their own. You ever tried to dwarf a dwarf from his own? Ain't
I'm not
easy.
speaking of dislodging them, just weakening their presence so they don't have a mind to overthrow the rule of the current leader.
Aye. Well, that'd be. Maybe you are as smart as you say then. They're good folk. Helpful, useful. Look what they've done. Now, they'll build the witch back up soon enough. They've already got temporary ideas, ropes and chains. Smart folk. You wouldn't want to cripple them, weaken them, maybe. But you don't want to drive them away. You need engineers. We're going to build this city.
Of course.
Well, if their loyalty is to wealth more than anything else,
Aye.
like you say, we can use that. Like, as long as they get a decent cut, perhaps they won't be such an issue.
If it's wealth they desire, then they can be bought. They can be bought. They can be used, and perhaps we can forge some sort of alliance. Meantime, just until we secure a better foothold down here. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad plan.
Who should we speak to if we wish to pursue this line of inquiry? Is there a head Dwergar of some sort? Do you speak
Stonedark.
Stonedark, of course.
There's a couple of them. Brothers, they are.
Stonedark, doesn't one of them own the one of the pubs down in Skullport?
Aye, that's the one.
Hmm.
Bearded fella.
Yes, we had there was that drink that he served us that was interesting. Maybe we could go and speak to him again if this is something that we want to chase up.
My lord. So he goes over and tosses his wife and another pound of meat.
Oh, before you go, I have one more question. Do you know the whereabouts of the founder of the House of Pain, Hellsflaky? I don't know.
Hells. Yeah, I don't remember his name neither, but I know where he went. Yeah. All happened at the same time, you know. He came up from the dark. One of the most beautiful women I'd ever seen. They called her a saint. And even bound in chains and rags as she was, you could have told me she was an angel, and I'd believe you. Aye. And then soon after, he was back again. And with those southern girls that I hear you got rid of. Must say I like those girls. Not sure I'll like you half as much. But, praise be Leviathan, you're what we're left with. And he came back with the girls and told me what's what. They'd be in charge. He was going below. I dared ask why. Don't know what came over me, but I dared ask why. And he told me. He said he wanted to learn. Said he wasn't enough. He hadn't learnt enough. He needed to know more. If he was going to make the transition, he was going to have to learn. And who else could teach such a powerful necromancer? Who else but Halasta? There's a school down there. Deep down, at the bottom of Undermountain. Lethvagi, he went down there because he wanted to learn.
Learn what exactly? You said something about transitioning.
Aye, he's an old man. And one thing I know about humans is that they fear mortality.
He seeks to preserve himself.
What necromancer does not? He asked, looking back at Sanj with a smile.
Of course.
Well, his temple has been cleared of false prophets, so as of now, I am in charge. And I suppose that he is straying away from the path of Leviatar, but I do wish to seek him, so thank you for the information.
My lord, I do hope the flesh does not stop flowing.
May you feel Leviatar's whip.
He grins. Tosses another chunk of meat, this time someone's hand, towards his wife.
Nom nom nom.
Sargath level or Stone Darks?
Probably Stone Darks.
Yes, I think we should take the time to, I suppose, formally introduce ourselves. Now that we're trying to make a bigger splash down here.
Yeah, if we can get them to partake in the raid against House Overendar.
I think we should go and speak to him.
Ariok, roll a d20, please.
Yeah, just add correction. Yeah, you should go and speak to him while I stand in the corner. Like, if I say a word to him, I doubt he'll want anything to do with us.
Ariok might not be here. Keviak, if you're there, d20, please. Might not be either. Sanj, a d20.
Sure.
They have been quiet for a while, and I did wonder. All right. All right.
Here we go.
You're traveling through the streets of Skullport, and you know the way. You don't have to go far. In fact, you pass. There's a hag, a hag selling selling zombies, fresh zombies. It's not the same hag as the one you killed. It's the replacement hag that Halasta summoned. And so she sort of sees you and closes her shop. Just closed for business when you arrive. But you go past the fish market. Goblins selling good fresh fish at a pretty reasonable price.
Oh, I'm this guy's soon-to-be main customer.
Come on, man!
Yeah, if it's fresh fish, absolutely.
we got salmon, we got blind trout, we got roe.
I'll take 2 of the salmon fillets, please.
Beautiful. They're only 5 silver each, so you pay a gold piece, and you get the freshest. This fish is good. There's no doubt about it. Are they right at the where the river meets the?
Yeah, awesome. I take one. I give one to Ariok. Wink, and say, right,
Yum.
let's.
It's a
Delicious.
happy cat. Welcome back, Ariok. Ariok, while you're looking at this fish, deciding whether or not you're going to eat it, a bugbear in a suit comes up to you and says, hey, you look like someone who's looking for a bit of fun, right?
Fun?
Yeah, you want to have a bit of fun, a bit of a new experience. I got something for you. You're a pretty lady. Anyone ever tell you that?
No.
Well, you're beautiful. I can't believe that. Why don't you come over here? I got something to show you. You're gonna love this. Come on. You're gonna.
Okay, I go over.
All right, you go. You got like your fish in one hand and you head over, and he takes you into one of the many dilapidated buildings, one of the ones that still has a roof. And inside, it's a small room, maybe about 10 feet by 10 feet and 10 feet high. There's virtually no furniture in here. A couple of stools that are rickety, but there's a cage, and in that cage, although the cage is only quite small, there are 12 goblins packed into this single cage, and they are terrified. Come on! Come in! Close the door! One at a time, please. Do you go in, Ariel?
I look at the rest of the party.
Lucius is just standing there with one eyebrow raised. Like, are you actually going to go in there with him?
Yeah, I'm given the same look.
It's like I don't even feel like I need to say anything here. Are you actually going to go in there?
He's wearing a suit. He's got like a fedora.
I was about to ask, what's the suit like? Is it of fine quality? Is it like ragtag
No.
and put together? What are we talking here?
It was beautiful once.
Okay.
When this suit was being worn by some dude from the Sea Ward, it was schmick.
Yeah.
Now it's a
That must have been a
sculpt
big
suit.
dude.
He must have been a big dude. It is quite tight on this guy, but he's got the 3-breast coat, and it's just holding together.
The button's just about to pop.
That's it. Come in. You're gonna have a good time. What do you do,
Okay.
Ariel? All right. You come in. He closes the door behind you. Says, "Okay. Now here's the deal. You're gonna pick any one of these goblins, and I'm gonna let you kill him with your bare hands for a gold piece. It sounds exciting."
Hold on. I'm gonna pay you to kill a goblin.
Yeah. You choke the life out of him, or you rip out his throat, or anything you want. Like he's got his hands bound. He's not going nowhere.
I asked the goblin, "You guys cool with this?"
No, please don't kill me. They're talking in goblin,
kick
so they
the shit out of the bugbear.
Man, what you doing? Crunch! He comes smashing through the door out into the street. This unconscious bugbear, his fedora sort of just rolling down the alley.
And I set the kobolds free.
Hooray! They run out into the street and start causing chaos.
And then I walk back out.
One of them starts mugging him, and they go through him, take his wallet and take his hat and strip him basically naked.
Fucking kobolds.
And now I eat my fish.
All right, your fish is all the more delicious because it tastes like justice. All right. So you head on down to I can't remember the name of the place anymore. Black Tankard might have been called.
I think it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's a couple of Minotaurs offering security. There's a few Zentarum who are drinking. There's a couple of Dwerga as well. A couple of the Dwerga finish their drinks when you arrive and walk out, but most of the patrons stay. Hey, welcome back. It's you want more Wormviz?
Yes, Drune, please, another round for me and my companions.
Very good.
We really enjoyed this drink. I say as I kind of like side eye the rest of the party.
Addictive, no?
Sure. Yeah.
Once you get the taste for it, you will not want that grape juice from the surface anymore.
Mm. Now, Drune,
Well,
how would you say life is down here for you and your kin, the Dwergar? What? Tell me about what you guys get up to down here.
yeah, life is shit, you know, but what can you do? It's Skullport.
Hmm. Have you anyone hanging up your goat? Anyone a thorn in your side? Hmm? Is there
He
trouble
looks
for the
over.
Dwergar down here?
He looks over towards Adastria and practically hisses and says, "No, nothing really.
Are you sure?
Oh, you know, sometimes I don't like racism, you know? Superiority complex, you know? When people think they're fucking better than you because they have a pointy ears or something.
Black
It's
skin.
Oh, yes.
it's
White
interesting.
hair.
Big spiders.
We
Hates fucking spider. He squashes a spider.
might
He
have.
looks at Adrastia while he squashes it, rubs it into the. There you go, bitch. Yeah, what do you think of that?
I go over to Drastia and say, I think he's talking about you.
Yeah, I just cross my arms and when he gives his whole spiel, and then when he crushes the spider, I just sort of like twitch a little bit. He doesn't get much of a reaction out of me, but he gets something. He gets.
Now, Drune, what if I were to tell you that we had a means by which we could dismantle this complex that you're talking about, this thorn in your side? Hmm?
Then I
You're
would be very interested, you know. There
you're
is
a
such bad things going on in there.
you're a Stone Dark, no? You are effectively Dwerger royalty. You call the shots for the main populace here. Is that right?
Ah, you are too kind. You say royalty. I am more like mere upper aristocracy.
Hmm. Well, it so happens that my companions and I, the Drow included, are interested in dismantling House Orvrindar. And we feel like a little quid pro quo, a little, we'll scratch your back should you scratch ours, might be a curious way forward. And we thought we would speak to you and gather your thoughts on the matter. Hmm?
I don't know. You say scratch. I think you mean stab.
Oh, that's not what I mean at all. I hate to give you the impression that it would come to that.
You want to take over Skullport. I know your ambition. I read it in paper.
from the Waterdeep
What?
Wazoo, that unreliable fucking garbage that they call press.
You should trust independent media.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's great.
He does have a point.
Well, then I guess that settles it then. No? No interest? Fine?
No, wait. You have interest, you see. I know you have interest. You want to know. what you're up against, you know? You know, they make a Drider.
They've made one, have they?
They make them all the time. You see, because they have way to do. It's hard, very hard, but they know. You know how? Through gate to another world. World of terror and horror. Or spiders. Eh? They send in the drow male who is naughty boy. And he is tested. And he will fail because he is boy. And laugh, she very sexist. I know in your Waterdeep, you don't like sexist and racist. I know you are so enlightened. In the surface, the sun, it makes you burn with enlightenment. Well, they make a demon from a drow man. He send him in and then he come out and he Drider. Half drow, half spider. You know, it would take brave heroes to shut down gate to the abyss. You would have to be mad to be so heroic and bold.
And yet imagine the stories they would tell of the Stone Dogs if they had a hand in accomplishing this.
You've got him there.
Imagine the legends that your future generations would talk of how the Stone Dogs bravely aided in the overthrowing of House Orvindar and the closing of a gate to a nefarious realm. Tempting, no?
All right, I am on board, but now tell me this. When House of Randara dealt with, what is left? I know you do not like Zentarum. I like Zentarum. I like Xanathar. I don't know if I like you. I think you are puppet of the Silver Hand. I don't like the Silver Hand.
Well, I imagine once the drought problem is dealt with, that's a major party out of the playing field down here. It gives your engineers, your fellows, a chance to make repairs here in Skullport. No, you fix the winch of the crane, get it operating
You will
again.
shut us down like you shut down Xanathar. You will shut all of Skullport down, and you will say, "Oh, you all criminal! You go to jail now!" And that will be what happened to Skullport when you are in charge.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Well, then you should talk, lady.
Well, everything you read in the paper, believe it or not, it's mostly true. I do have ambitions for controlling this place. But that doesn't mean it has to be a place without dark dwarves. I think that we can come to an arrangement.
You already shut down slaves, and you don't even take over. Now what industry we have? Nothing.
Well, we're planning to promote underdark trade with the city above.
And what will we trade without slaves?
Well, your kind make all kinds of fine items, don't you? Weapons and marvelous engineering. Stuff that you just can't find on the surface. People would be willing to pay a premium for it. It's the kind of quality that human smiths just aren't capable of.
You will give us access to your markets?
There is room for legitimate trade and business once all is said and done. We just need to get to that point. And we believe that you might be able to help us.
Absolutely.
I will want tax-free exemption for my business.
We will need to work out the finer details at a later point, of course. This is all just back and forth travel right now.
My brother has forge here in Skullport. We have begun already. If you are ready, we are ready to ship. But Zentarum ready to buy too, so maybe I sell to them instead.
course, your business venture is your own. Profits are something that you need to keep in mind. Of course, I understand that.
Zentara might not be able to purchase them weapons for too long, though.
If you catch Lucius's drift.
Well, looks like new autocrat is in town. You kick out Xanathar, you kick out Orindar. Next you kick out Zentarum. I wonder who you kick out number 4.
Well, they're all causing problems.
You smart, you know. You clever people. Maybe you will do a good job.
Okay, well, that's the idea.
I'm confident in myself and my friends. I know we'll do a good job. Think of helping us here as a sort of a step towards what will hopefully be a fruitful relationship between initially us and yourself, your kin, and then eventually between your artisans and the markets of the surface. There is great prosperity here. I see it.
You know, I think I like you people. Here, have a vermvis on the house.
I'm just thinking to myself, Arctic. So, this is something that I may or may not know in character. This is your call. But so, with my background as a guild qualified smith, so I'm familiar with smithing weapons and armor and everything. And then what I would know about trade and everything, the kind of weapons and armor that the Durgar can make. How much of a profit would that be on the surface? Because so he's asking for tax-free trade. I'm just trying to work out if it would be possible for us to accommodate that and then use our portion of the profit by selling them at a markup on the surface to cover the 40% tax that the city wants to put on in the short term without us making a profit, so that we don't make a profit, we take the loss, but his profit that him and his brothers would be making isn't necessarily affected. Is there a way to make that work?
I won't go into the complexities of sending trade routes through the Underdark and the like, but the short answer is yes. Dwarven equipment comes with such a guarantee. It is quality too. It deserves its guarantee because the shit lasts forever. You buy a kid a toy when he's 5 years old, and you can bury it with him when he's a granddad. So dwarven goods have a certain. They charge a certain premium, and make a lot of money through this. And the fact that they're producing them here in the in Skullport, if they're producing them here, then that cuts out the real problem, and that's transport. Sending something through the Underdark is fucking hazardous. But if you're just doing it right here, and all you got to do is put them on a crane, ship them to the surface 100 feet above, then that sounds like a suburb of Waterdeep.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is that because I mean we don't need money in the short term, so if we were to partner with them and then use our portion of the profit for selling their stuff up above the surface to cover the taxes and just let them keep a full portion of their profit, we might have a way to make this work and let the city cover the costs of the navy and the adventurers and stuff that they were talking about. But that can also legitimize the Durgar that are down here.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had in mind.
Because if they're, because I mean, you can think about that from the long term. If that works in the short term, in the long term, we can try set up a deal with them to be to maybe be using a portion of this tax for them to actually craft gear for the city guard, the Waterdeep army and stuff.
Yeah, dwarf craft items. I mean, I don't want to get into the politics, but it's going to piss the dwarves off of the Lord's Alliance to learn that Waterdeep's guardians are being equipped with Duergar equipment. But oh well.
True. Maybe
that's
we
a
should
problem for
keep
someone
that as
else.
maybe we should keep that as a private venture and have it like auction to adventurers and stuff.
Just promotes competition in the market, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It's like, well, the dwarves fucking should have sold them our stuff, you know? We've had a trade deal on the table for 12 fucking years, Mr. Dwarf. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that actually could be. It's the thing about the Durgar is that they're easier to negotiate with than the Drow because they're still dwarves. They're practical.
So, Drun, will you help us?
Aye. Sooner or later, you'll have to talk to my brothers and my associates. But perhaps you are busy now and have other things to do.
I think we were actually literally just about to make our way to the Drow, I think.
And shut down that gate. End those things that they are doing.
Indeed.
Yeah, looking to the party. All right. I think that's a good call. And I finish my worm viz.
Right, it is.
Oof. Yeah.
Not getting any better.
Yeah. Just for your information as well, Drune, I have a method of contacting people over very long distances. So, should my voice suddenly appear within your head, pay no mind. I might just be checking in.
Make an insight check. His whole demeanor about you immediately changes.
Immediately changes.
That's it. It's mostly fear. It's the sort of, but it's the terror that breeds hate, right? But it's like you've like that. I mean, I was going to say that innocent passage. It's not a particularly innocent passage. You just said you're going to, psychically contact him from some other. But for whatever reason, they were his trigger words, and he just is a completely different person towards you immediately. Doesn't say a thing.
But like his reaction is discernible. Yeah.
Yeah, he is horrified, terrified, aghast, stunned. In fact, doesn't shake his head or nod. Just purses his lips and stares at you with the look that you give when you look into the abyss.
I hold his gaze for a moment and raise an eyebrow, but just turn to leave if we're leaving.
He wants to say something, but he just dare not. I mean, you already know what he's thinking anyway, right? You're one of them.
Is there some kind of issue you've got with wizards?
Facing away from him and speak. You can speak your mind, Durin, if we're to proceed as potential allies.
Don't you go putting one of those fucking things in my head.
What things?
The fucking brain dog.
Hey, no. We're
it's
wizards, not fucking illithids.
Druin.
Sure you are.
May I?
Spellcasters, arcanists.
May I show you the process? It is completely harmless.
Show it on him. Points towards his biggest minotaur.
You there?
Minotaur like one comes up to you. He's got his big great axe and ready to just chop you in half, you little man.
I close my eyes and cast sending, and I say, "Hello there. My name is."
It's
Sarge.
in my head.
Oh god!
Calm yourself.
Hello there. I am Sarge. I am the blue man in front of you. Please tell your friend that everything is fine. That's the end of the message.
He spoke to me in my head, like one of them.
And
yet they hate you too.
Sand rolls his eyes. Yet you are completely unchanged and in control of your own faculties. No harm done. Dust my hands off.
Have you ever been there before?
Where?
No. I guess you have not.
We've met mind flayers before, but I'm not sure what this there is that you're speaking of.
Well, you know, they are social creatures. The elite. They live together in communes that they dwell together in the depths of the Undermountain. And you know, this is a place. Yeah? And you can go there. Yeah?
I did not know that, but that doesn't sound particularly pleasant.
You mean to say there is a commune of Illithids down here?
Yeah, commune is wrong word. It's a
A colony? A city? A town? A village?
campus.
I see.
They are smart, like you. They have university down there. But you know, they say sometimes people, they go there, they come back. Yeah, yeah, like your friend, the mad one from Yawning Portal. With magic axe.
Ah, Malone.
Ah,
We've already
he
dealt with
goes
that.
there and he come back. Huh.
Just more trouble for our plates. As if we don't have enough already. Oh, well, can't be helped. Shall we head out into the Sargoth?
Yes, I think we should.
All right. Take a few minutes break and then begin our quest.
You think Nihilor is from that group of Illithids that live in that, or is he like a independent one?
It is entirely possible that he's from that group, but if he is, that's very bad.
I just cause yeah, I know like cause it's been a year and last we saw him, he went into the other plane.
He escaped from us when we tried to kill him, and we haven't heard from him since. So he's probably there.
Cause it's just weird. Cause I would just assume, like I would have just assumed that he would have just took over the remnants of Xanathar, but instead they just dissolved, and then from what we saw in the temple, like some of them were being sold as slaves because I guess they couldn't have a life in the surface.
It probably is the case that he went back to there. But that is something that's bugged me as well, that we never heard from him again. All right. I hope everyone is aware that this fight could go horribly, horribly wrong.
Drow. Yeah, that's tough.
Well, I'm more concerned it's drought poison. If you just have one bad roll, you'd be unconscious.
That's why I stocked up an antitoxin.
Well, just don't fail by 5 or more.
Now watch as Zevra Nat ones his saving throw. It's because he's the one that said that.
I think I should get a racial bonus.
I mean, they probably use it on other drow more than anyone else.
Probably.
Not to mention, you're a half drow.
The fact that I trust you will never let you forget. However, if it's any consolation, you did earn her respect when you had the opportunity to be to become a full drow through some wizard shenanigans, and you said no. You know, got a little bit of respect there.
I mean, that's just delicious hypothesizing.
It's totally possible. I know right now of a spell I could use to turn you into a full drow. I just can't use the spell yet.
What, alter self over the course of 365 days?
True polymorph.
Right, okay. It has to turn you into a creature, though, doesn't it?
No, I believe it can turn. Oh, creature just means anything. Like, creature is not. Yeah. No, true polymorph does not have the beast limitation.
Oh, okay, right.
You can turn people into any creature or furniture. You can turn furniture into creatures or creatures into furniture. I could permanently polymorph you into a chair. Oh god, that's an NPC I need to put in my campaign now. Some deranged wizard whose lair is just everything is just adventurers that have been true polymorphed into furniture.
Well, yeah, that's great. His entire
So it's
lair.
like you pull a book off the shelf, dispel magic turns into a person. You dispel magic, the table turns into a person. You dispel magic, the bookshelf turns into a person.
Yeah, that's fantastic, actually. I can just imagine it. It's like, I cast like detect magic, and it's like there's magic everywhere, it's all around you. Everything is magic. It's like I cast dispel magic on the chair, and it turns into a person. The shock on their faces.
All right. So, once you depart Skull Island, not sure if everyone's ready, but anyway, once you depart Skull Island, and head up the Sargouth, how are you going to do it? It's a fairly broad river. At this point, it's quite rapid. There's a lot of rapids going through it. While you're just heading out from Skull Island and up the Sargouth, you see a Kuatoa dive into the water to, escape your wrath, your presence. And then, as you struggle up the river, it's watching you with its big bulbous eyes above the water, just watching.
Well, before we head out from Skull Island, I'm going to ritual cast water breathing on every.
Sounds good.
And then you're just going to swim through the water upstream.
Yeah,
that's not what I was suggesting. I was just casting water breathing, considering we're going to be going on the river, and if we get ambushed, it is better to have the spell on us because it's a 24-hour spell than to not have it at all.
You can buy an 8-seat rowboat, a pretty big rowboat, about 16, 17 feet, for 150 gold. Yeah, it's perfectly good, says the goblin. It's only sunk twice.
Who is it that has water walking, actually? Was it Eldritch? Do you have that prepared still?
No, I do. I can walk.
Yeah, it's the monk.
No, someone actually cast a spell when we arrived for water walking.
Yeah, I can. I have that spell.
Why cast your spells when you can buy a boat?
Because he won't charge us 150 gold for a spell.
I won't charge you that either. 110.
Copper?
Nah.
Nah.
Not worth it to get it out of the bottom of the sea, like last time.
Do you want to cast water walking, Eldritch, or should we get a boat?
I don't mind casting it. Should I cast it? Can I as a ritual?
Oh, come on, man. I got 17 children to feed. Some of them
Is
are
it
mine.
Well, learn
is
to
it a
keep your finger in
ritual?
your pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you ritual cast it while I'm casting water breathing.
He tries to disturb your ritual.
As he's disturbing it, I get like that big vein popping up in my forehead, trying to resist the urge to like not kill him.
I try to stop him, and I'm like, why don't we find out if you float along with your boat?
Make a perception check.
Interrupt my ritual again, and I'll fireball you and your 16 children. Now piss off.
He's got your wallet.
Got my wallet?
Yeah. You pull him off Aldrich, and you shake it down. We're gonna throw you in the river, and like, wait a minute, what are you doing?
All right, okay, all right. Dissonant whispers on him.
All right, he dies. You have a free boat. Its value is apparently 110 gold.
Well, that's a spell I didn't need to use. Damn it!
Gobber.
Pick up my pouch and put it in my pocket.
The Kuatoa sees the whole thing, like watching from about 200 feet away.
Me and Aldrich will still ritual cast our spells, so everyone will have water walking and water breathing on them. But for the sake of appearances, let's go on the boat. And then if we need to, we can jump off the boat and walk on water and be like, surprise, bitches.
I suppose, I mean, I guess. If we're walking on top of the water, we're not affected by the current, but if we get in the boat, we have to row it upstream. That would be a bit of a pain.
I feel like walking on the river is like walking on a treadmill because the current's going the other way, isn't it? So it's not much different than going on a boat.
Yeah, I guess you're right. And if that's how it works, yeah.
It's like if we were going the opposite direction, you could probably sit cross-legged on top of the water and just slowly float down. But because we're going upriver, then we'd have to go against the current anyway.
So walking on one of those flat escalators at really big airports.
Yeah.
You're walking against it, yeah.
Well, he's dead now, so no one's going to stop us from taking this junk heap of a boat.
All right. Kuatoa with the big baby first eel eyes watches as you disappear up the Saga. You travel a while. I think it's probably less than a mile though before you are back in relatively familiar territory. Some of you will recall killing people up ahead.
While everyone else is in the boat, I'm gonna have my cloak of the manta ray on with the hood up, and I'll be in the water. I'm just keeping an eye out below the boat because I'll have a better view from inside the water than above it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my I'm gonna use my shape changer feature. I'm gonna transform into a small octopus. Wrap myself around Lucius's left calf.
You have an octopus glove.
Resist the urge to destroy the octopus before realizing it's Sanj.
Yeah, it's a nice shade of light blue, and it looks like a little bit like me.
Yeah, like
It's the same shaped head, you know, because it's.
At first, Lucius is like half a second away from making fried calamari. Then he's like, "Oh wait, that might be Sanj."
This appears to be the scene of a battle, Zevram. There is evidence that people died on either side of the bank.
Are we heading up this way?
Yeah, should we stop here and head north, or are we continuing to follow the river? We saw some goblins come that way last time.
So from what I can remember, when we first came down the stairs, the drow came at us from the east. And the river was also to the east of the stairs. Well, it was southeast, I think. What if we follow the river up a bit further than the point where we first got onto the river and see if there's a location we can access from there that might be where the drow are at?
That's quite a walk, but all right.
Just to alert all of you, last time we were passing through here, not long after we got attacked by those giant skeletons, I saw a drider on the bank. It didn't try to attack us, obviously. It just kind of stood there and watched us go by. And so there's a good possibility it might still be here.
You see 3 ghosts up ahead. They are looking for treasure. It's got to be around here somewhere, boys. I'm sure we buried it on this side of the back.
I wave to them and I point over here. You missed your spot.
They don't seem to acknowledge you as you float on by up the river.
Poor fools, stuck like that forever on a wild goose chase.
You're coming up to a set of caverns which are thick with spider web, and there are also the statues of several people who have been turned to stone.
We continuing or getting off here?
The drow, as far as I'm aware, unless there's a bridge or something up ahead, I'm assuming. Oh right, yeah, ferryman. They're probably off to the west of the river.
What, ferrymen? Oh, west of the river?
No, the drow.
Oh.
As we go by, I look at it. The same way I did before. Maybe no one else has noticed it, but I have certainly noticed it.
Yeah, when it sees you, it's curious, but it still hides away, like a child closing its bedroom door.
I don't say anything to the party about it.
The river is broad here and quite slow, making travel quite easy. There are big fish underneath you. Some of them have eyes and some do not.
I nervously release the inky blackness as I swim past them.
They want nothing to do with an octopus. They stay out of your way.
Right, are we going further still, north, along the river?
Sure.
There's one weird boat.
Yeah. All right. The river is branching off at this point. You can continue up the main stream against the main stream, or you can follow a tributary, which splits off from the main branch that you're on, and doesn't have so much flow, and as a result, is not quite as clean or as fresh. A place for mosquitoes and fish to breed in.
So is the flow going this way?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so this would be splitting off down this way.
Precisely.
Okay.
Yeah. But the water seems to be quite stagnant in here, which would indicate that it probably terminates pretty soon. It's creating a pool or a backwater rather than a separate branch of the river.
Right.
Some webbing to the west.
All right, yeah. I'll slow down for a sec and maybe let the rest of the party catch up, and so I can scroll through what you're doing as well. Okay, hang on. Yep, cool. Yeah, just webs at the moment, just nothing but webs. A thick cave with webs. There'd be no doubt lots of spiders crawling around in there, tarantulas and things significantly smaller. Here the river begins to shallow, and that creates a set of rapids. The stalactites and stalagmites reach each other like columns supporting the roof, but the river here becomes a bit harder to fight against. Getting the boat up this next stretch will be difficult. Walking won't be hard, but getting the boat up here will.
Well, shall we have a look down this little tunnel? See if it leads anywhere?
I mean, there's spider webs, and we've already gone past the entrance that we originally used to access the river. I'd say, I mean, the drow could be here.
I mean,
It's
that's what
quite
we're looking
possible.
for, isn't it?
Do riders give webs?
I'm gonna
They do.
crawl up onto the shore and end concentration on the shape change.
Sure. The web is quite thick. It covers the walls.
I pointed Sanch. Look, he's evolving.
I have the ability to go back and forth between previous forms. It's quite interesting.
As you step on the shore, throughout this journey, you've been greeted with wind. It's been blowing a bit of wind that's been getting stronger as you get up the river. But curiously, it seems that the wind is even more strong right here. You can hear it howling. It's sort of loud enough now that the howl interrupts what you're saying, Sanj, and you all look at each other as you question whether it really is the wind at all, or rather some anguished creature deep within those tunnels.
Well, this is hostile territory now, no?
Oh, for sure. Like, these webs are the markings of a spider's home, so by proceeding beyond them, we're intruders.
Did you want me to have a look ahead?
I mean, there's no sneaking up on them. You disturb even a small amount of their webs, the spiders are going to be alerted to your presence.
Well, the spiders perhaps, but maybe not their masters.
Shall I bring forth a fire elemental to clear the path? Maybe light the place up a little bit. If that is the case, if there is no silent way in, why not guns blazing? Excuse the pun.
I guess. I look really visibly uncomfortable with this.
I like the way you think, Sanj.
Pull out a little bit of like sulfurous kind of sediment, as well as what else is required here? Let me just have a look. It's a little bit of sulfur, and it is also a little bit of phosphorus. I form like a paste in my hand, lob it out maybe 30 feet from me, and I'm going to summon a fire elemental.
It burns away the webs in this cave almost immediately, and as the fire elemental follows your commands and presumably begins marching its way up through the tunnels, it burns away enough web to reveal an old scribbling on the wall.
Huh.
What those ghost pirates are looking for, I suppose.
Hey, we'll get their treasure. Not that I want the treasure.
Well, you could look at it as perhaps obtaining their treasure frees them from their current
That's right.
situation. No?
Looses them of their mortal coil, and they can go on.
Only if they get it. If we take it for ourselves, I'm sure they'll be digging there for all eternity.
Right. Well, better to just focus on the task at hand. We can perhaps look at this later.
I'll command the fire elemental to maintain pace with us 30 feet ahead of us.
All right. I'll do you up a fire elemental, and you can command it.
Oh, I should probably copy that spell off you at some point, because a spell that can bring forth a CR5 minion is actually really good.
Well, I mean, you could have. I probably should have asked you about that earlier, I guess.
Yeah. I'm not going to bother retconning anything now because I've already got my spells prepared. But when we get out of here, I'll definitely get that spell off you.
Oh, this is. All right, I'll see if this works. Sange, just party element. Now it can only be controlled by Sange. All right, can you control that one? Yeah, cool.
I can, yeah, that's sweet.
All right.
I'll just. All right. Great. Let's. Shall we proceed then?
How long will it last?
It's an hour.
All right.
Yeah, it's a good spell.
I'm not sure if the elemental should have a sight or not. I guess I leave that to your discretion, right? Because obviously Sange can't see through its eyes, but it.
Yeah, exactly. So because you're only keeping it 30 feet away, I'll just let you not see through its eyes. So as you notice, these tunnels are very winding, very curving, and they're natural caves. The height varies between about 3 feet and about 7, so it's never comfortable, but sometimes you actually have to crawl. The whole thing's choked with spider webs until the fire elemental arrives and burns most of it away. But the fire is the web is durable, and the fire there are still many remnants of the web left when the fire elemental has already passed and you start making your way down through the caverns yourselves. All right, stop at that point, and I might try and I really want everyone to sort of be in the group when combats break out. So I might let you guys rearrange your order now as you intend it to be, rather than me, sort of relying on us moving tokens, because that's only it's not a great simulation of what will actually be happening if you were adventuring through it. So if you want to readjust yourselves into the position that you can, I'll let you do that, and I might even start doing that more often from now on.
Sweet.
Yeah, getting the marching order. Lucius will be in the dead center.
Yeah, also like center to center back, kind of knowing what could happen if I. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring up the rear. Yeah.
Do you want me up front since I'm Mohammed?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Zevram's kind of been a glutton for punishment most of the campaign, but if you want to take it yourself, that's
I'm
fine.
tanky now. Thank you. I've lived until this point.
True. Yeah, you are a frontline fighter. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, okay. I've already seen you have 2 close scrapes. One where you nearly got eaten by the red dragon, and one where you nearly got killed by the drow and then finished off by a will-o-wisp.
Yes, that was very close.
That was levels ago, though, wasn't it?
It's like a session ago.
Damn. Oh well. All right. So this is what happens. The fire elemental is taken by surprise. It suspects nothing. And Sans, you're not far behind the fire elemental. You see it suddenly get penetrated by Ariok and Zevram. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You see this arrow fly through the fire elemental, strike it, emerge the other side, almost destroyed, burnt up. But when it hits the wall and shatters, you notice that it's made of sharpened bone. These are fairly primitive arrows. They're good arrows, but they're fairly primitive. And the fire elemental is pierced by a couple of bow shots. And
Sure.
at that point, we shall begin combat.
Does the elemental take damage? You've accounted for that. Cool. All right.
Yeah. So you can roll the elemental's initiative and everything.
Is that the attack roll or the damage roll?
That's just a damage. It had sneak, like a surprise and all sorts of things. I didn't even bother to roll. Gets hit a couple of times.
Keep in mind that has does it have Yeah, I think it has resistance to non-magical attacks.
It does. Yep.
Good call. Yeah. So I hadn't accounted for that.
Just as a mechanics question here relating to languages. So Primordial has the 4 dialects, right? There's like the Auran, Ignan, Terran, and the other one or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Does speaking Primordial give you access to all 4 dialects? Or is it more of like in Italy, say there's like the Italian language, but there's also like the pretty major differences around the region?
Yeah, it's never specified. And so I kind of see it, as a single primordial root language with a bunch of terms that aren't necessarily compatible.
Like Latin.
Yeah, I suppose.
I've always seen it as like Ignan, for example, is like the Cockney to English. You can understand it, but if you're the one speaking Primordial, you're probably looking down on the guy speaking Ignan.
Yeah. Okay.
Usually an intelligence check to if there is any sort of chance of confusion. Yeah. Okay.
All right, here from the PHB, page 123. Some of these languages are actually families of languages with many dialects. For example, the primordial language includes the Auran, Oquan, Ignan, and Terran dialects, one for each of the or elemental planes. Creatures that speak different dialects of the same language can communicate with each other.
Okay, great.
Adrastia, you're at the back.
Yes, which is unfortunate with this initiative roll. But so what I'm gonna do is just sit up right here. Yeah, right there, and get my crossbow ready. And if anything tries to take us from behind, I tell them no, you can't do that.
You'll be ready. Is
I'll be
everyone?
ready.
Sorry, I'm meeting something.
Cool.
I will use my action to go invisible with my ring.
Sanj.
Yeah, I will. No action. Yeah, I'm gonna command the fire elemental in primordial to proceed forward and engage with whatever shot it.
Yeah.
And then as I am then going to hold a ray of frost using my wand. Should anything hostile kind of appear.
What's its movement?
The fire elemental has a movement of 50 feet.
Oh shit, 50. Burns up there. Alright. Disappears off into the distance and then keeps going because it would dash, presumably, to get as close as it can. I'll put some light source out down there since you'd be able to see the light.
Well, if you give the fire elemental like vision, but other players see light, then like if you take other players see light, and just give it like 40-20 or some shit.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, I just drop a torch down, but that's a good way of doing it. Yeah.
I just need to be reordered in the initiative because I just realized it didn't roll when I clicked it the first time. So yeah.
All right, Sanj sends it down there. It acts on its own initiative, though, doesn't it? Right?
It does. Yeah. So it wouldn't move as I commanded it. Yeah, it's on its turn.
Okay, cool. All right, Lucius.
Yeah, I can't see around the corner, so I'll just hold a firebolt for if anything hostile comes around from behind us.
Cool. So as the elemental charges up in its direction, some more of these primitive arrows start come firing through the mist or through the smoke, and one of them penetrates the elemental, but the other misses. And you see that when these arrows shatter, burnt and blackened up against the cavern wall, they're huge. They're like 4 feet long, 1.2 meters long, really massive arrows. All right. Then the elemental charges forward, I think. Yeah. Those Eldritch is your go.
Okay, gonna walk here with my shield up. And I see nothing. So I'm going to dash here behind the fire elemental.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright. Aldrich, Ariok.
Alright, I'll move up to here. And then I can move up to here. And I guess I'll end my turn there.
Adrastia.
I'm just gonna keep holding position.
Zevran.
Alright, running up 20, 30.
Sanj.
Dashing up.
Sure. I'm going to take my action to dash. And I'll, that's my turn.
Lucius.
I will. Yeah, I'll also squeeze past Sanj and get to there.
Mysterious enemy whose identity no one is particularly sure of yet.
Yes, if only we couldn't see a Drider in the initiative order.
Fires 2 longbows. Bam! One of them is a great shot. But being just a mundane arrow, it burns upon impact. And it doesn't really affect the elemental much. Huge arrow shatters up against shatters right beside you guys, right there. And then you hear the sound of something with a massive carapace and multiple legs scurrying up deeper into the tunnel. Elemental runs forward as fast as it can, 50 feet. Let's see how far 50 feet gets it. And then it keeps dashing 50 feet. Aldrich.
Gonna go here. And I still see nothing, so I'll dash here, and I still see nothing. And that's the end of my turn.
This is cool. Ariok.
I will go up to here. And let's see. That's 40. And I can go another 10. And I guess I will dash
Yes.
for 100. That's another 50.
Yeah. Ariok runs past you now at this point, Aldrich.
And
You get another 25, right?
yep.
Yeah. You can see that the fire elemental is catching some great elf hybrid spider thing. The hybrid spider casts its bow to one side. It just snapped its bowstring, got one good hit, and it snapped the bowstring, casts it to one side, draws a blade, likewise made of bone, and it attempts to fend off. Is attempting to fend off this fire elemental, but it's making a run for it. It's not. It's like staying long enough to force it back. It's just trying to get out of there as desperately as it can. Drastia.
Alright, let's start catching up.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, you've moved on quite a bit more than I expected. I'll use my bonus action to dash another 30 feet.
Go for it, Zebra.
My bonus action, that is, because
Yeah.
I have fleet of foot. But it's irrelevant. It's just like I still don't see anything.
Ah,
So I guess I'll use my actual
dashing.
action to keep dashing right
Cool.
here behind Zephyr.
Sanj.
Sure. Whoops. How is it that you like measure out you get the yellow arrow as you walk
Yeah,
along?
how do you do that?
Pick up your token,
Mhm.
right click.
Mhm.
Now right click again where you want the next waypoint to be. You won't see it, but we will.
Okay.
Well,
So
you'll see it when you're measuring it out. It's a good way to measure distances that aren't a straight line.
So that's a move and a dash and turn.
All right, Lucius.
She'll also dash to catch up. Fucking Tabaxi's too fast.
I didn't even run my full speed. What are you talking about?
This
That's
isn't even my
unrelated.
final form.
That's it. I was thinking, yeah, like, you get up there. All right. So the Drider is panicked. It really is. Seeing this fire elemental is bad enough, but now a leopard person with the speed of lightning has appeared as well. It thought that it was cruising, but it's obviously not cruising fast enough. It tries to fend off this this elemental. It tries to get rid of it and just slashes madly with its blade in both hands, and then bites with all the fury that it can muster. What's the armor class on the elemental?
It's 13.
All right,
And
so that's
then
pretty good.
It
It's
says
immune to poison, surely.
it is immune to poison, that's right. And it
Yeah.
also says here, a creature that touches the elemental or hits with a melee attack while within 5 feet of it takes 1d10 fire damage.
All right, so roll that d10 as it explodes in the Drider's face.
I mean,
Bam! But she's not sticking. He's not sticking around. He darts off deeper into the caves, and the elemental gets an attack of opportunity.
I think this is set to whisper to you. So
Yeah, probably is.
I think that roll has gone through. Was it a 20 for the attack and an 8 for the damage?
That's it.
And I think now it is on fire and it's an action to douse it, or it takes the damage again at the start of its turn.
All right, now I'll do the Zevram trick and I'll create illumination for this one. So how's it done? Just give it has sight? No, yeah, that's right.
Has
not
sight.
all player. Yeah.
Has sight, but you also tick that players can see the light.
Yeah, all players see light, but because you don't have control of it, you're not going to be able to see through its eyes like you would if like you could for the elemental.
No. So as long as in the dynamic lighting you have enforce line of sight, on, then we won't see through its eyes because we don't have access to the sheet.
Yeah, so Sanj would see through the eyes of the elemental if I gave that sight. If I did the same process to the elemental, he'd never be able to see through it because he has control over the elemental.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's really, really good to know that she's on fire and she's illuminating the place because she has dark vision, or he has dark vision, 120 feet. It's a lot of illumination. Might turn that down a little bit. All right. It's the fire elementals go. At this point, I might give Sanj vision because otherwise you will have no freaking idea what's going on.
Yeah.
That's right. So, can you see?
I can, yes. Yep.
All
right. So, pursue. So he gets there. And he's going to take his multi-attack.
Feeble multi-attacks.
Yeah. And that's his turn. No bonus actions there or anything.
Aldrich. He is now on Never Whisper, by the way. In what is no doubt the most exciting combat scene you have ever been involved in.
I'm gonna dash this way, and
make an athletics check or acrobatics. Yeah, make an acrobatics check. Beautiful. You can gain an extra 15 feet of movement. How do you manage to do that through these narrow, claustrophobic caverns?
Through my new diamond encrusted cock piece, I've been able to gain better aerodynamics, and
it's like one of those magnetic wristbands.
am I able to stand right here next to the fire elemental?
No, you will burn.
Okay, I will stand right here, and yeah, that uses up all my I can't do an action, right?
No, you did you dash? That 15, the extra 15 feet was for free.
Yeah, I dashed all the way from here.
All right, I thought you might have.
Yeah.
Ariok, it's your go.
All right, I'm gonna saunter here, and I still got 10, so I guess
Squeeze in there right beside the
get right-
elemental.
get right next to him and say, "What took you so long?"
You can see the Drider trying to fend off this fire elemental and run at the same time.
I mean, there's no way in how I'm gonna squeeze past a fire rental.
It's not going to be easy. Not gonna be healthy. Pretty much taking up the whole corridor. Let me tell you.
It says it can squeeze through a space as narrow as an inch, but I don't know if
Ooh.
that's like part of it. If that would have to be part of its movement or something like that to allow for them to pass through.
Yeah, it would allow you to. It could do that, like open a gate within its fire. You'd be walking through its leg. Be kind of grand, really. But then you'd be stuck because you can't get past the Drider.
I ran through a burning ring of fire.
That's it. Ariok, I think you still got your action. Any ideas?
He's not within range, so I can't really do anything.
No worries, Adrastria. Keep running. Zebram, running. Sange, running. Lucius, running. I'll wait till you catch up. Curse you, cowardly Drider. You're bad for ratings. People at home don't want to see Driders running. They want to see them dying.
So it's 9 fire damage on the Drider's turn as it starts.
All right. But Drider is not playing by the rules. He swings his sword with everything he's got. He lunges forward to bite, to gnaw on how much damage did he take from the fire?
So it was 9 at the start of his turn, and then it's another 3 for these attacks.
Nasty. And then you get an attack of opportunity as Drider runs. He's not sticking around. The elemental is catching him.
20, 30. So the elemental's going to squeeze through the space and like stop it here.
No! The Drider turns around and is ready to run back the other way.
And it takes its multi-attack.
Ooh, that's a bit better. Okay, the Drider is now burning. You smell burning spider, which is delicious to Cambodians, but no one else. Aldrich. Hello. Make way, there's a Drider coming, Ariok. Get out of the way. There's a Drider coming.
Oh no, he's got AirPods in. He can't hear us.
Am I able to just poke my head out around the corner and cast a spell? Okay.
Definitely.
I'm gonna.
Huge target.
And it's taking damage?
Oh, lots of it. Yeah, it's still on fire as you look. It's illuminating the passage.
I'm casting Toll the Dead.
No. The dead is being told. It's still running straight for you. It's getting the hell away from this fire elemental no matter what it takes.
That'll be the end of my turn. Yep.
Burning alive. Ariok.
I'm
You finally
bored.
can catch it.
I think I can.
You can. It only moves 30. There we go. You get there.
Okay. Finally. So, punch.
All right. Crunch.
It's still kicking.
Oh yeah, it's still going. He's a beauty. He's a big in this one. Oh, we're gonna get him down sooner or later.
Key point for 2 more.
All right. Crunch. Ooh, crunch. Unfortunately, it's a lot more durable than you might have imagined. It's tough, super tough. But 3 of those strikes still hit. One of them misses.
Okay, it needs a dexterity roll to stay prone.
All right. It has. You break off 2 of its legs and it just falls over onto its side. Crunch. Merciless.
Okay, that's my turn.
Alright. Work out that damage. 8, 10, 12, 20. Pretty easy. Okay, Adrastia. You're all alone in the Underdark.
So yeah, I should be able to pass by Sanj and
Sounds like a song.
Lucius. So 5, 10, 20, 25, 30. And then 1, I still can't see it, damn
it. Best combat ever. Zevram.
3, 4. Now I can see it.
Ah!
It's too late.
You can see it, but now you're blocking the passage. Alright, Zevram.
Okay, yeah, a bit of a bottleneck happening here, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
That's as far as I can get.
Perfect. And now, and right, Zevram, you're stuck in a 3 foot high, 3 foot wide little gap that this thing somehow crawled through, and you're getting in there. Your sword gets stuck, and it's caught on your backpack. It's Sanj.
Yeah, just sending it. Oh, dash to 50 feet and then stop there.
Close, yes. Oops. Drider, this is your big moment. All right, Drider is going to cut you, to cut a path straight through you, Ariok, a path straight through you to freedom, and it screams in Elven, freedom, and hacks. I don't think a 14 will hit. Will a 20 bite you, Ariok?
20 will.
Okay. The bite is only mild. It's a little more than being bitten by a sharp-toothed elf, really. 3 points of damage, but then it surges with venom for 9 that rushes through your heart. Oh, hang on.
It doesn't.
You like poison.
That's right.
You sprinkle arsenic on your cornflakes in the morning.
There's nothing to me.
The poor Drider at this point, he loses hope. He just looks up and you hear him praying, "Love, why have you forsaken me?" Fire Elemental does its worst.
Oh my god.
It does its worst. It literally does as bad as it could possibly do.
I verbally commanded to hang its head in shame.
The fire elemental goes down to candle size. He feels 3 inches tall.
That was yeah. That's pathetic.
I'm going to rub my holy symbol on my nipple and then cast.
Your holy symbol grows a little bit larger.
As does the nipple.
As does the codpiece.
Indeed. The Drider is is struck by your tolling bells, and it grabs at its head and tries to cover its ears, but those bells are ringing, driving it mad. This thing is vulnerable, Arok. It lies at your feet. You've already ripped off half of its legs.
Punch, punch.
Do-do, do-do. How do you curb stomp a Drider?
That's a good question. I stomp on its carapace while looking at the fire elemental going, this is how it's done.
Your foot goes right through it and ends up inside the thorax and gets stuck a little bit.
And I wiggle it around and stir it up.
Ugh! Squeezes out the sides of the carapace. Bleh.
Good luck getting that out of your fur.
I say to the fire elemental in primordial, well done, servant. Well fought. Now
It
lead on.
salutes you.
But he's just the size of a candle now. It's a little tiny salute.
It's all the cuter for it.
Mm.
No problems.
So I don't know if you want to like take sight off of the elemental now that we're not in this combat, or if you want to leave it as is, and I can avoid like knowing what it would see, or try to like not kind of incorporate that. It's up to you completely.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it.
Actually, just turn off has sight and see if you can still see the light from it.
All players see light. You should still see its light though, because it should be blinded, but no one else blinded by it, right? Yeah, that worked, I think.
I think so. So
cool.
Can you see through it? So?
No, I can't see it. No,
okay.
Like I can't see through it at
but
all.
We can see. We can move it just around the corner a little bit, see if we actually get light from it, because our dark vision doesn't really let us know. Yeah, it's shedding
working?
light.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, sweet. That's good.
It's interesting because like it's kind of practical that San should be within range to see it while it moves ahead as well.
Mm.
You know, like there's a coincidental incident of realism there. Throughout this thing, the fire elemental has been fighting wind. Hasn't really been a thing because we're in the middle of combat, but there's this howling wind that is soaring and surging throughout all of this cavern. It just gets louder and louder until you reach this cavern here that the fire elemental is about to breach. And it seems that the origin of the wind is right here. And it's howling through the cavern.
Elemental's just gonna like guard this
Wolfman
passage.
Yeah.
And,
Wolfman Jack.
any obvious like holes to outside? I can't imagine it would be like a naturally occurring wind, right? If we're this deep,
It's
unless
dark.
yeah, unless it is, I'm not sure. The bloody hell's going on in here?
You know, now that you're here and you hear the wind from its source, as it were, they are screams. It's creating wind, that's true, but maybe the wind is the byproduct and not. You would think that it's the wind causing the sound, but it might be the sound causing the wind. These are screams. These are endless, endless screams.
Well, this is unpleasant.
You notice that the wall, as the fire elemental's lamplight flickers, its burning torch flickers. You see the wall dancing with the shape, mostly spiders and elves dancing on the walls, ghostly images cast unnaturally by the shadows. The elves seem to be running from the spiders.
Does this mean anything to you, Adrestia?
Not particularly. This is disturbing.
quite.
We've always had a good relationship with spiders. For the most part.
Maybe this is the process of making driders.
Well, the portal has a lot to do with that. But yeah, I can't explain this at all.
Well, could this be the portal?
Perhaps, but it doesn't look like a portal to me.
I
Not
doubt
what
the
I'd
portal
imagine a
would
portal
be
to look like.
unguarded.
Right. I imagine they'd guard something as important as a portal to the abyss.
Yes, certainly.
Yeah, because everybody wants to break into the abyss.
Goddamn, breaking into my abyss again!
No, but I do think everyone would want to shut the portal down.
Shall we proceed then? There's nothing here.
Yeah. This could have been this chamber. This could have been its nest, perhaps its home.
Everyone make perception check. The fire elemental has spotted something, and its instinct is to act with hostility. Alright. Adrastia, even Zevram, Sanj, and Ariok. Aldrich as well. Look at all those great rolls. So moments before the fire elemental gets its assertive, aggressive stance, like an attack dog, you think you heard some words. Those of you who speak Elven think you heard a man with a high-pitched voice say, "I'll go and check it out." And we shall leave it there for the week.
Oh.
I wonder what he's going to check out.
A whole person to the face.
A book from the library, most likely.
All right, good game this week, guys. Thank you. I will speak to you guys next week.
All right,
That
catch
was
you
a
later.
lot of
See
fun,
you around.
guys.
See you around.
I might go as well. I'm feeling very tired.